All right. What's going on, chat? How's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. So it took me a little while. I had to wait, unfortunately, to stream this afternoon. I was hoping to stream a little earlier, but we got a couple hours to do some miniature painting and talk about conflict and everything else we got going on. So hope everyone's doing well. What's going on, Bobzilla? How's it going, dude? Hope you're doing well. And welcome everybody on YouTube. So if you guys don't know, real quick, we'll take a look, I guess. We have a new battle report out, which we have the Red Ribbon Society versus the Fungivorous Herd, a new Turnip28 battle report. So go give it a watch, give it a like, all that jazz for YouTube so it doesn't send it to the Shadow Realm. And, dude, Turnip28's so good. Turnip28 is so freaking good. We're having so much fun with it. Rev's going to be making a more Napoleonic-style army. And, what do you call it? I got some crab riders planned. Yo, what's going on, Glenn? Yeah, that's my bow hunting shirt. Big Jim's Bow Hunting Company. But this is a lot of fun, so... this is going to be one of the last videos where I'm consistently zooming in every activation. I got to stop doing that. So we actually just filmed a... by the way, go check out the new Turnip video. It's awesome. Had a lot of fun. We filmed the new Soviet versus Japanese battle report somewhere... kind of like another pre-invasion of America sort of scenario. Because the Soviets and the Japanese are both involved. But we're getting ready to start filming... our scenarios for Invasion America. Let me just turn my mic down a little bit. So we need to get some militia done. Let me turn on my camera, you guys can see. We're gonna chat for a little bit. But I did I did this constantly. You should replace the zooming with the star wipe transition. There you go. Consistently, like every time. Yeah, exactly. Somebody pointed out, and I've done it, I got better with it. But I don't need to do it every single activation, right? You know what I mean? Next die, star wipe, whoosh. Or like a dice rolling across the screen transition. So I spent a lot of time, by the way, and I built 32 militia with the Apocalypse sprues from Warlord that they had on the summer sale. And these are all going to be U.S. civilians for... This is my army list, all of the Xanathol highlighted minis right here. This is my list for supply raid. First scenario of Invasion America. So Rev's going to have essentially 10 ghosts that all activate individually. They all get their own rift die and their own order die. Or 2 rift die, I think, if they have a Shiburu, I think, if I'm not wrong, or something like that. And... I'm going to have, I think, 5 units of 1 shotgun, 2 SMGs, regular civilians, so 3 civilian units with better weapons in regular, and then I'm going to have 3 blobs of inexperienced green civilians with rifles. So I'm pretty excited for it. This is what we're going to be trying to do some painting today and looking over and whatnot. I tell you what. I'm petitioning Warlord to add the civilian militias to every freaking army list, or at least the U.S. Because I already talked to Rev. He's like, whenever you want to run them, just use the civilian militias in the regular list. So, because it just totally makes sense. Because I know in the book, right, like Invasion America, as they go through New Mexico, they go to, I don't want to spoil everything, but if you saw the, you know, I'm sure a lot of you know, but you'll see, because we're going to be doing the scenarios. It's a very small storyline. But I like to think the Japanese are launching attacks all over. Maybe there's Japanese generals and commanders who are like, screw this. we're going, let's go to LA or something and go cause havoc. So I would love to do some more scenarios in the future, just doing like 2,000 point battle reports, whatever, and using a ton of civilian militia. So I have 60 apocalypse dudes, 30 men, 30 women, between all of the sprues. So I could run like 60 militia if I want to. The only problem is you can only run them in an 8-man unit. So you can't run them in a 12 or 10-man. But that being said, it's the first U.S. infantry unit in conflict that you're allowed to take inexperienced in green. Basic infantry, that's really cool. You know what I mean? So we might modify it, allow you to take 12 or something, and then play it. We're just going to start playing with militia, because it's just too cool not to. You know what I mean? Real quick, we'll take a look at the Warlord stuff. What's going on, Nix? How's it going, dude, by the way? I hope you're doing well. And Glenn, how you doing, man? You got your Apocalypse Survivors, right? You got them 2 days ago? Hell yeah. Yeah, they came out great. You're going to see we're going to paint them up. It looks like it's done, the summer sale, from what I can find, unless it's still up somewhere, because these things are still here. Oh, okay, yeah, summer sale. It looks like they sold out of most, except for the male survivors, which are still really good. If you're looking for some sort of miniatures for conflict, you know, like a, what do you call it? My god, I'm an idiot. For like a militia, or for like basic infantry, or if you want to use them for Zona Alpha, or they're great minis for that. And they're $1.50 for 10 dudes. And then there's a zombie vixen sprue. I have one zombie vixen sprue. I gave one to Rev. He's going to make his own Tiki Terrors, Hula Girls. And I might do the same, but I might do something different. I don't know. I need to see. It doesn't look like there's too much crazy stuff here. The Zulu, yada, yada, yada. Really, everything was the new pre-releases, or the new hidden stuff. Oh, here's the file. Now, was that Unix that was talking about it? Somebody mentioned it in some other videos. One of the files doesn't load or something like that. There's like 300 megabytes or something like that. You were mentioning it as well. So people are bringing it up, and I just don't know if anyone at Warlord knows about it. But I'm assuming they probably do. I'm assuming somebody's probably contacted them. We'll have to see. But one of the files you can't print. I don't know what's going on. There's I'm gonna download this later. I mean, Rev's gonna print it, but that was you. You figured it out. What was the issue? What was the issue with it? That might be some useful information for folks, because I saw in someone else's video, there was a video talking about what do you call it? There was a video talking about the Warlord Day some guy made that somebody posted in the Discord, and folks in the comment section were asking about the turret. So I'm assuming they must be hearing about it in some way. But I wonder what was the issue. Alright, there isn't really much on here, and we should be caught up with everything. Get some music going. And we're just going to stream for a couple hours. I know Mordian's going to be going live at some point, but I had to stream a little bit later in the day. The issue is that it's a 300 plus megabyte file. I printed it on an old version of Sheet2Box. Oh, okay. I actually think I still have an old version, but Rev is using the bamboo stuff, so I wonder if it'll just work. Maybe it was an issue with the Sheet2Box or whatever. Are you resin printing it, or are you FDM printing it? Didn't work in the current Sheet2Box, so I just had to load it and pray. Interesting. I still have the older version of Sheet2Box as well, I think, on my computer. Yeah, I do. 64 or whatever. So, alright. So what do we got going on? Oh, you're resin printing it. Damn, okay. Yeah, Rev's going to be FDM printing it. I do have the Mars 5 Ultra or whatever, so I guess, can technically resin print it, but that's what we got the FDM printer for. Alright. Let's take a look at these guys here. What's my white balance looking like? I was filming something outside. Okay. Let's take a look here. I guess, well, this guy looks kind of cool. Let's start maybe with this guy. So what I'm thinking of is speed paint, speed paint, speed paint, speed paint. Because there's 32 of these dudes, and we're trying to film the first scenario of Invasion America on Sunday. So I think speed painting the majority, and then a lot of times I'm not a fan of just the speed painting. But, what do you call it? I'll be able to take some regular paint and go over certain areas. It'll just make it a lot easier. I don't need to do like multiple coats. It takes less time and effort to resin print because of the supports. That is true. That is true. I do like the FDM printed stuff though. It's like super durable, and like, you know, you could like stand on that turret after you FDM print it probably. Okay. All right. So, let's do some painting. We got to get some colors going. I have, by the way, I did film the new Ghost Platoon box. You know, we looked at it on stream the other day, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to film it. And then I was like, yeah, why not? I might as well. So, I filmed it in 4K, unboxing the Ghost Platoon, the new starter box or whatever for it, and some of the other stuff. Some of the art. Somebody asked me about the artwork that comes with the book because it was like a limited time thing. So I did get some really nice shots in 4K of the artwork that comes with the book. So at least one person will be happy about that. But I'm going to edit that later tonight and probably try and get it out tomorrow. We are going to be live streaming tomorrow as well. I think Wednesday, Thursday is kind of like, I don't like setting a set schedule, but Wednesday, Thursday is pretty good during the day before Mordian, for instance. And my buddy, Biggie, who has been on the channel before with one-page rules. Not the last game, but the previous couple games of one-page rules were me and him. And, what do you call it? He pre-ordered all of the StarCraft starter sets. So the StarCraft tabletop game. So I believe... Let's take a look real quick, actually. I'm curious. Because I'm going to have to build all this shit. He's coming tomorrow. I don't know when he's coming. So... It's either going to be earlier in the day or later. It might be when I usually stream, so I might need to stream earlier or later. I'll have to take a look. I'll ask him. But let's take a look real quick. StarCraft tabletop. Because he got like all this stuff. I think he got the starter set for each army, if I'm not wrong. For the Protoss, the Zerg, and the Terran. Right? Terra, I think it's called. I haven't played StarCraft in forever. But this is one of the first PC games I ever played back in the day. Let's take a look. Oh, do they have like nothing on here or something? Well, they do have an app. Interesting. Okay, so they have an app. Oh, and they have the rules here. Oh, wait, the rules are free? The core rulebook's free. I did not know. I did not think that. It has affiliation to Blizzard in some way or form. I thought it would be you got to spend like $80 for the book. Oh wow, that's sick. So these are what the units look like. They have these cards and stuff. I don't know anything. Combat roll 17. What is this? I guess we could take a look at, huh? We could. This is the rules here. Unit cards. So we have the unit name. The speed. So speed is 2. Split values. Oh, no. Speed is 5 inches and 8 inches. Okay. So that's probably move and maybe run or something? Or maybe there's like multiple activations for a unit. I still don't know how this game works. I'm going to have to do a deep dive. So I'm thinking tomorrow on stream we might take a look at all this StarCraft stuff. We're going to like... Because he's going to bring it over and I'm going to have to build it and airbrush everything. Because he doesn't do a ton of painting stuff. So we got armor value, the evade, that's probably to not be hit, I'm assuming. HP points. Oh, okay, so that's how many like damage you could take wounds, I guess. Shield, okay. Interesting. What do the weapons look like? A glaive cannon. Range of 8 inches. Target all. Oh, I guess there's probably... Oh, yeah, there's fucking aerial vehicles in StarCraft. I completely forgot. That's actually pretty sick, because we never really play with flying stuff in any of the games anymore. ROA? Is that maybe the rate of attack, or the amount of attacks? Maybe 2? Maybe need a 3 to hit. Surge type light? S-die, D3 plus 1. I don't know what the hell that is. Damage 1, anti-evade. Interesting. And it's got melee. Strike. Interesting. I'm looking forward to it. And he got all the miniatures and everything. So it's like, hell yeah, dude. We're going to try it. So that's like coherency. A leading model. Oh, there's probably heroes and stuff, isn't there? Oops, sorry. Wholly within. Measuring distance. Dude, I absolutely love the StarCraft Space Marines, by the way. They're so freaking cool. They are called Space Marines, right? Like, Warlord cannot sue them. Oh, they're called Marines. Aren't they actually called Space Marines, or no? Or are they just called Marines? I always forgot. I know, like, there was something going on. Oh, I want to play the Terran, or the Terra. It's Terra, right? And it looks like a small map, so we could play it on our 4x4, which is great. It's nice for filming. I want to see, though... Assault phase... This is pretty cool. This is almost like combat patrol size stuff, too. You know what I mean? Which I like. It's not like a massive game like 40K, which is like impossible to film, you know? How to play. You get 6 Marines. Oh, it's Terrans. It is Terran, not Terra. 6 Marines with upgrades. You can get AGG 12s. Places the C-14 rifles, rocket launchers, sidearms. A C-14 rifle, huh? You got 6 Marines, 2 Marauders, 3 medics. Oh, and there's cards and stuff, so you have like a barrack. Yeah, I wonder how that works. Do you actually make buildings to spawn stuff? I don't know how it works. I'm gonna have to take a look. I'm gonna have to read this entire freaking book. Charges, flamers. Oh, this game looks sick, dude. I can't wait. And I get to use like my Warhammer-ish terrain, because we can't really use like the Warhammer terrain for conflict in the battle reports. Oh, there's advanced rules as well, eh? Sorry, I just wanted to take a look real quick. I didn't know the rules were completely free. That is a huge W, by the way. I love that. Oh, here we go. Units. So we got basic Marines. Dude, I love the look. These guys... Oh, man, the nostalgia of StarCraft. Oh. It was so much fun. That was like the real... Like the first PC game that wasn't like a child's game that I actually played. It was so good. I used to have so much fun playing it, too. Like, being a kid and trying to learn how to play freaking StarCraft when I was, like... I was so young. I had no idea what was going on. Okay, so there's a cost. 6 models cost 160 minerals. So do you spawn them as you go? Because this is what I was wondering. This is what my game is based off of like StarCraft and Age of Empires, like RTS games. So I think you're generating resources and spawning, or do you just start the game? That's what I'm curious. Oh, these guys look sick. Look at that. Oh, these look like fun to paint too. I kind of like painting like you know, like Space Marines and guys like this in armor, because it's like there's not a crazy amount of detail. I can airbrush and then do some dry brushing and weathering. So we got a medic. That guy looks sick. He's got plasma coming out or something. Some sort of like energy. Well, they got walkers. We got a Goliath. Oh, the Haywire missiles. Forgot about those. Jim Raynor. That's a name, dude. Okay. That's like the scouts, right? Oh, is there no scouts? I guess that's your units. You got the Zerg. I'm assuming they'll add more stuff, right? Because there's so many units. Zerglings, Raptor, Kerrigan Swamp, or Swarm Raptors. I don't know if some of this stuff's from the new StarCraft stuff. Oh, this guy's pretty sick. I will say these are very Tyranid coded, right? A Roach. It's like a shooting one. It's very Tyranid coded. Very Tyranid coded. But I will say that at the same time, I think Tyranids at this time look like trash. So I guess you could say like Tyranids took a bunch of influence from Predator or from Alien and maybe from StarCraft at some point for the models. Look at that. That looks sick, by the way, though. Hydralisk. Ooh, the Queen. Oh, this is that. Yeah, I think. Yeah. This is the girl that was on the cover of StarCraft, wasn't it? Yo, what's going on, Ryan? How's it going? How are you getting on with the Invasion American bits? Any campaign plans for your Turk set? So I'm still printing Turks. We have 40 Janissaries, 40 Dervishes, or not 40, 10 Janissaries, 10 Dervishes, 10 Cavalry mounted. I have 6 unmounted. I need to do 4 more dismounted Cavalry. Then we have 6 Jinn, which are like the Shrek Wolfen. And I'm trying to think if there's any more unique units. Oh yeah, I gotta do like some sort of like platoon commander Janissary squad. But so I'm finally gotten to the point to where it's like almost all printed. Now I gotta paint it. I'm gonna make like 1 or 2 more videos. It's just been so busy with Invasion America. So I'm gonna do like 1 more video covering me painting some units and stuff. And then 1 more video once I figure out all of the unit abilities and rules. It's just taken a while because it's a lot of stuff. So I don't necessarily need it all, but I want to kind of have it all done and showed off in like a video, and then we'll start. Once I have the rules, the army faction, everything ironed out, we'll do it on stream one day, and we'll all sit through and like talk about the abilities, and because it's going to be a thing where it's going to have to be adjusted over time because it's a whole brand new faction I'm making. But yeah, I'm super excited. I'll actually show you real quick. I'll give you guys a little look. So we got our dervishes. Ooh. And we're working on Invasion America. 32 civilian militia for the first scenario supply raid. We're going to be filming that this Sunday. We do have 1 more conflict battle report coming out in the interim. Soviets versus Japanese. But these are our whirling dervishes. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, should I give them a teleport into melee ability? And I was like, no, that's too strong. That's crazy. I think we're just going to use the Shadow Warrior ability for these guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, maybe not teleport, but maybe within a certain distance, they can, like, make a crazy move and get into combat. Because they're, like, whirling around. But, because they kind of really are like a glass cannon unit in that reality or that regard, you know? And then we also have some Jinn. And I primed them black, and then I painted them with an airbrush gray, because I plan on doing some colors. I'm going to make them mostly white, their color scheme, instead of the tan color scheme. And these guys, I'm going to do a bunch of, yeah, they're going to have like Deadly 4 or something. They're pretty much, they might have some pistols or something, but they're really not, it's almost all melee. Like, I might not even give them pistols. I might just have them all be, because they're all holding swords. And then we got our Jinn. These are the Shrek Wolfen type equivalent. I don't know. We might give them their own ability, though. I don't know if we figured out what the ability is. I think it was Rudy. Maybe Rudy in the chat, like, help me during a live stream come up with, like, half of the rules. Somebody helped me. And they came up with so many great ideas. I was like, oh my god, so good. For instance, the Janissary, their rift ability, normally the whole army benefits from alchemical ammunition, so they get more pen and stuff. I don't know, maybe we'll do some like alchemical blades. I haven't figured it out, or maybe that'll just be built into the melee units, their pen. But the Janissary units will be able to spend a rift die to go for like a supercharged alchemical ammunition shot, and they'll be able to like increase their pen by an additional shot. So the way it works, the alchemical ammunition, I think, is whenever you roll to hit, if you get a 6, then you get an additional pen on your weapon. So it's essentially like you're fishing for extra pen in your hits, sort of thing. And then so that's kind of fun, and it's not like it's kind of a lore way to say, hey, they don't have all these crazy riff weapons like Tesla guns, Schwerfield cannons, Zukoid projectors. They're using older weapons, but they figured out a way to use rift ammo to give them that little bit of bonus. Corrosive is interesting. Yeah, I haven't actually thought of corrosive. There might be like a corrosive like ability involved, you know. But I don't know about giving like the whole army corrosive, but it'll be like they get an extra pen or something on a 6. I don't know, that might be something to think about though. I forgot. I don't remember exactly what it is. I have it written down, but it seemed pretty good. Also, I just want to take a look real quick. And these are the Protoss. Protoss look pretty sick, dude. Not gonna lie. So they say like there's fly and stuff. I guess. Oh, does this chick maybe fly? This chick might fly. I'm assuming they're gonna add more units, like tanks and stuff, and these are like little starter sets or starter armies. All right, interesting. Well, my buddy's coming tomorrow. He's going to drop off all this StarCraft stuff, and we'll probably do tomorrow on stream. We'll probably take a look at the all the new StarCraft minis and stuff. I'll start building those at some point. All right. I want to mostly speed paint. This is 32 civilian militia. Most of it in experience green, but some of them regular with nice weapons like this guy right here with a... Even though it's assault rifle, like an M16, I'm going to use them as SMGs because they don't have assault rifles. So we're going to be using a lot of speed paints to get base colors down, and then I can always use some regular paints. And some of it might just be left speed painted, but I'll probably do some mix of real painting and speed paint. So I'm going to start out with dark wood, which is like a dark brown color, and use it for like pants and jackets. And I'm just going to start going through and just hitting as much stuff with the right color that I think it is, because there's going to be a lot of shit to paint, and I have a ton of editing to do. So that's like... I don't want to spend the next like 4 days painting all 32 of these guys. What about parkour for closing in range, Assassin's Creed style? Yeah, well, they essentially are assassins. That's what I base them off of. Or I could use the Turkish themed transport. That could be interesting. All of their vehicle stuff is stuff that was purchased, essentially, from other countries and whatnot. So, I guess the boots would be brown or something. I was gonna do his jacket, but this guy's got a cool duster jacket. I think it's actually probably like a black leather jacket. Yeah, StarCraft looks pretty cool. I completely forgot about it. My buddy's like, I pre-ordered everything. I'm like, look, dude, this is my friend that I like put together, or I helped him put together and painted like his entire Dark Angels army, and he still never played it once in the entirety of 10th edition. He's never played with him yet. He's playing video games and doing other stuff. He loves like getting minis, but he doesn't and he likes playing, but he doesn't like playing very long games, and Warhammer can be a very long game. And I think he just likes like buying the minis and collecting them, which I'm not against. But StarCraft, it looks like a smaller skirmish type game, which is one that he can actually play for a couple hours and then leave. And he loves the StarCraft stuff too. He loves all the Blizzard games and everything. So I was like, you know what, dude, if you get it, I will put it together, paint it, and we'll play it on the channel. So I'm excited for it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll sit down. We'll probably do a couple streams where the whole stream is us theory crafting the Turkish army rules. Because I want your guys' opinion. Now, it's probably going to either suck or be busted at times, and we're going to have to make adjustments, but this is probably going to last us a while until they ever do make a real Turkish army. Not a full army, but at least maybe like a platoon or something, because apparently they are going to cover the Turks in a future expansion, somebody said. I haven't heard that since, or any interviews, but you could bet your bottom dollar I would if I was there. I'd be like, what's going on with the Turks, bruh? You know what I mean? But yeah, we got the new Turnip28 battle report, which is great. Which is out now. We're gonna probably go pretty heavy on conflict now for the next couple weeks here, banging out some invasion of America scenarios. So probably by the time we're done with it, we'll be ready to film some other games. I want to film some Great Helm, which is a really cool looking game that's played on like the size of a piece of paper. Aetherpunk 28. I want to do solo games of Aetherpunk 28. That looks really sick. Do more Turnip. We have some more. Me and Rev are both making new armies for Turnip. Do some of the Universes Collide one-page rules where we're taking like Napoleon dudes, fighting them against like freaking Chaos Space Marines and stuff. What color pants should this kid have? Screw it, we'll make him brown. It's brown pants. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff planned, so I'm excited for, what do you call it? I'm excited to start filming the Invasion America stuff, and of course we're going to just do regular battle reports as well for conflict, but I think once we bang out the Invasion America stuff, we're probably going to be dipping into StarCraft and other games, and I think that's when I'm going to start making sure that I get, we'll probably, for conflict, we'll probably do some Turkish stuff. Hopefully I'll have them done. But, and then we also, I need to film Festoon Europa. I kind of built some of the stuff for Festoon Europa. It's a lot more, I would say, terrain heavy, where you need like the right models and terrain and units and stuff. We didn't necessarily have all that. We do have like every single thing we need for Invasion America, because we've been kind of preparing for it. So it turns out it's much less super specific. You need this, you need that. It's like, oh, some ruins, and this is Area 51. And I'm like, oh, I already made something that's like perfect for Area 51. We got military stuff. We can make some walls, yada yada yada. I want to play Contraband, which is the solo version of Zona Alpha, because I love Stalker and all the Stalker lore and stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. There's a ton of cool games that I'm looking to play. Oh, we're doing 1490 Doom. I got Rev to, he printed a whole modular castle so we can mix the castle up, because it's like a whole vertical game where you go vertical. It's a little 2x2 round battlefield that you play on, and you climb ladders and stuff. So we got a bunch of cool games. Rev is super busy working, but come wintertime he has more time off, and we're going to probably try and shoot for like 3 battle reports a week we're going to be filming. Build up a huge backlog, so then next year I'll have a ton of stuff. I'll probably buy a couple hard drives and just fill them with battle reports and videos and stuff. So we got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of stuff on the menu. We're super busy thanks to conflict. It's fishing season, and I make fishing videos, as you know, or fly fishing videos for striped bass, which is fall time is the busiest time of year. So now I'm like super busy with my work, tying flies, and making videos for that channel. So I'm like freaking slammed at the moment, but it's good. It's good to be busy. But the next video we have on the channel, I'm going to edit it tonight. It should be really quick to edit. Is going to be unboxing the new Ghost Platoon box with the Komuro Tadaki and everybody. So one thing I got to do is we're going to print out, I might just even resin print it, but the the Kaishoniku Japanese walker, and I'm going to kit bash it to be an Oniaru. Rev used some AI nonsense to make a crazy-ass proxy that... Thank God it's not GW. They would come and smash it down, burn his house down if they saw it, but folks are already making, like, crazy proxies for the Oniaru and stuff. I want to do something like I kit bash something myself. But I don't think I'm going to buy, like, a Warlord Walker to do it. I'm going to use a nice STL like the Kaishoniku one, and then kind of we'll make it and do some green stuff and cutting and gluing and all that. Maybe print like a big samurai sword or something. Something cool. So yeah, we're pretty busy. We got a ton of stuff planned. The number one thing I need to do is paint all of these bozos. This is going to be fun. So now, I'm thinking we have the baseline for Conflict Skirmish. What you do is you just use one model from the unit, give them an order dice if they have a rift unit, or if they have a rift ability, give them a rift die, and just limit it to about 150 points, 200 points. And there we go. We got Skirmish. So we've tried that in the past. There's a VOD of us playing Conflict with chat, and it was a lot of fun. But I was like, I don't know if this is how we should do it, and we kind of did it slightly differently. But now we kind of have like a baseline to work with for Conflict Skirmish. So the next project is figure out how do we create rules for a skirmish version of Conflict, community version of Skirmish Conflict. I personally love skirmish games. I mean, Conflict's already a small game, but I also really love, like, what if you want to play it on a 2x2 or play it on a little 3x3 and you only have so many minis and stuff. And also some of my friends, they only want to play a game for like an hour and a half or like an hour. So if I could do a little skirmish Conflict game, I could probably get some of my friends more interested. So that's one thing I want, and that's something we can do on stream, is where you guys control one army and I'm controlling the other. So that's something I'd like to do. Maybe we can all figure out together what's the best way. We kind of essentially figured it out. Some units you need to adjust their abilities and stuff. You thinking K-47 Kill Team, Mike? Yeah, essentially. I never played Kill Team. I played, we played Grimdark Future Firefight. I played Space Weirdos, Trench Crusade. I love skirmish games. They're one of my favorite. Because you're getting a glimpse at you're getting a look at the battle, but in a close-up, instead of the larger scale. I'm going to give this girl cowboy boots. So we've done it before. And now this kind of just validated it that, yeah, we essentially were kind of doing it right. Yo, Valor Games, what's up? Appreciate it. Thank you for the 6 months. Get some 07s in the chat, or if you got some emotes, whatever favorite faction emotes you like. I got to add some more emotes, because I think we got a ton more slots. Hope you're doing well, dude. Have you seen the Space Gits by the Gaslands guys? Is Space Gits... Oh... Yes. Was that the Gaslands guy? I have seen Space Gits. Yes, is that where it's a small, like, orc game? Are they affiliated with the Space Weirdo guys, or I don't think so. I was 100% thinking about that game too, and I saw it one day on like Instagram or something. I'm like, damn, that looks sick, and I never heard of it again. That's like the sort of game that's right up our alley on the channel. Because I could do a bunch of silly-ass voices the whole time. And play, my buddy loves playing with orc models, but he hates playing 40k. Because it fucking takes forever. Same dude that's coming tomorrow with the StarCraft stuff. So he'd probably love that game. You're just playing with all your orc models and stuff, right? I'll have to check it out. Is it on, like, Drive-Thru RPG or something? I completely forgot about that game. Thank you again, Valor. Appreciate it, my friend. How you doing? She's got a little belt on there, I guess. I'll wait to do the belt until after. Might do it a different color, black or something. Brown. No, this lady's probably got. Let's give her blonde hair and some colorful tennis clothes. The little girl here with the Magnum, though. This is my favorite model. You guys ready? A little girl with a 357. Let's give her a wooden handle on here. She's got the dirty hairy gun, dude. Go ahead. Make my day. That's a Dirty Harry quote, right? I think it is. Freaking gun's bigger than her head. Just trying to finish your workday. Nice, nice. Hopefully it goes nice and smooth for you and quick. Got a new parcel from Warlord. Got my very first tabletop game, K47 game tonight. Oh, wait, this is your first tabletop game? In general? Or of Conflict? Because you've been watching like Morty and those for a long time, right? So I'm assuming you play games. Or is this your first endeavor into Conflict? What army you playing? Yeah, Rev sent me a photo. He's got I think 5 or 10 ghosts from the new box put together. Luckily, he already has ghosts. We only need 10 ghosts for the scenario, so he's totally fine. But I think he wants to put together some of the new models and use them, which is very nice. We do need him to get the entire box put together, though, because the next battle report after that for Invasion America is going to be like I think a 2,000 point army where they're like going to attack Area 51 or something like that. Yo, Glenn, appreciate that, my friend. Thank you for the 50. Oh my God, the 50 spot. Round of applause with the Kiwi Cash. I think we determined the official name is Kiwi Cash, right? But Glenn, thank you so much, man. That is very, 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 very kind of you. Thank you so much. You guys have been so amazing with support. Honestly, just hanging out and watching the stream or just watching my videos really means a lot. What do you call it? So you guys don't ever have to donate or do anything, become a member or anything like that. But I really do appreciate when you guys support, because that right there will be able to allow me to, you know, put that down towards a Shadow Warrior box or something. So I bought that entire, with the essentially the sponsor money for the last video. I was able to pick up the British army because Rev has the 3D printed one. So now we have the plastic Warlord models. But after that, they released the most killer Japanese army update of all time, with where I could literally run Blood Angels as the Japanese. And I was like, no! So I was like, well, first off, hopefully we get another sponsor video from the Tabletop Strategist. But second off, you folks have been pretty amazing. So I am taking a little bit of the YouTube cash and putting it off to the side for a Japanese army. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but we're working on it. Because I'm painting them red and black with gold trim, or like, you know, metallic trim, and then I'm going to run them as Blood Angels. Maybe 1 or 2 guns in the entire list. But the rest is all Shadow Warriors, like probably like 30, 40 Shadow Warriors, Kimura Tadaki, and an Oniara Walker, and that's it. I'm looking forward to it. First tabletop game ever. Holy! You're losing your V card in a 3-way. Oh, damn, dude. Shit. Not everyone could say that. I'm Brits versus the Axis in the US. Oh, very nice. Very nice. What do you call it? What do you got? So you got the bots and everything like that? You got the automated platoon box or something? What's your army looking like? That'll buy an emu or two? Hell yeah, dude. We got an emu coming. It's in the mail. It's already boxed and everything. Going to be doing a release draft tournament for Neuroscape TCG Friday night. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of it. I love draft. I got a Magic Quick Draft for Hobbit right now. The Hobbit set kind of sucks, but Draft is literally the only way I play Magic nowadays. Commander is how we got into it and stuff, but Standard sucks. Draft is like the coolest way to play any card game. It sucks they don't have it in Yu-Gi-Oh! I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Too, though. But I love Draft. Draft's my absolute favorite. Our currency is rocks. Ah, New Zealand rocks. Or is it Duries? Are you sure it's not New Zealand Duries, now that I think of it? NZD? Are you sure it's not Duries? If it's Firefly spam, remember to go on ambush. Yes. How many points is the list? Yeah, Fireflies, you need to... If the Fireflies are waiting to come in on turn 2, like, turn 1, you're good. Turn 2 onward, you need to keep units in your back line or anywhere you think they're going to come. You need to keep them on ambush. And ambush works great in general a lot of times. But you need, like, 1 or 2 units on ambush. And then you just shoot the hell out of them with machine guns or something when they drop. It's very Magic-like, but cyberpunk themed. Oh, okay, interesting. Yo, Tiki, what's going on, dude? Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a great day, man. What do you call it? I hope your streams have been going good. If you guys haven't, Tiki's been streaming quite regular. I forgot the days. But I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday or something now. I forgot when it is. But make sure you guys go watch the Tiki streams. They're super late, so I usually end up missing them. Avoid the Schwerfield projector. Yeah, don't go in buildings. If there's a Schwerfield projector, don't go in buildings. The number 1 rule in Conflict is do not go inside buildings. They look safe. But if you do, you will die. Because, what is it? The Ezekiel have automats and the Schwerfields just, like, literally destroy anything inside the buildings. It's like an HE explosive going off inside the building, so it's, like, even more intense. So hide behind the buildings. It took us a couple games, but like the first couple games, we went into the buildings, and me and Rev were like, we're never going inside buildings ever again. You can go inside ruins, but not like an actual building, which is kind of silly. But yeah, Tiki's awesome. Tiki made Conflict content in first edition, so Tiki's one of the OGs. I think Cinematic Tabletop was making Conflict content in first edition. There was a couple other people, but not... I mean, really, that's all I can think about. Tiki and Cinematic Tabletop that I know of. Do you guys know any other people that were making Conflict content for first edition? Building device is spot on. It's like Black Hawk Down is tempting. Yeah, it's like imagine you in a building and then somebody shoots an RPG inside the building. Or like, you know, they shoot it from outside into the building. It's like the HE effect in general going in a building in bolt action or Conflict is very dangerous against HE because it's high explosive. So it's a little used to, like, compared to like other games, it's not something you think about, but it's kind of more in line with like how bolt action and Conflict have, like, I don't want to say realism, but they're kind of more based off like a mix between like historical wargaming and stuff. It has like influences, you know, that give it that flavor. Front-facing armor, right? All that stuff. Ranging in with like indirect, all that funky stuff. That gives the game the flavor that, you know, makes it unique. It's also the stuff that I forget about 90% of the time, and somebody has to correct me in a video, but we're slowly getting to the point to where we learn it. Now, chat, I wanted to bring something up. We could probably just take a look at the Warlord video, and at some point, maybe, so let's do this. At some point here, we're going to take a look at the Warlord video they just uploaded, and it's the Q&A, and I just want to watch one section, and it was them talking about, because we talked about this in a video recently, but there's so many there's just minute differences between bolt action and Warlord, and between bolt action and Conflict. Tough fighters, the pre-measuring after giving the order or whatever, the measuring, and just other small things. And somebody asked, like, wouldn't it be easier just to make them both the same, because that way new players could learn. And I don't want to talk about what they said, but we're gonna go and watch that. So Oh, yeah, you fucking dog. Yeah. Oh, I gotta work on my... Hold on, let me give you a good Australian accent. Oh, damn it. Fuck, I didn't do it, chat. I didn't do it in the mirror. It's alright, I gotta give it to you raw. Let me see here. Yeah, oi. I see, you guys fucked me up, dude. I told you I would do it, too. I gotta do something different. Alright, so here we have the brown snake, which is one of the most deadliest snakes in all of Australia. You fucking dog. Alright? I said, put the snake down, you fucking dog. So there you go. I could have done it better, but next week I'm gonna keep improving it just for you. And in fact, I'm gonna make at some point some Australian dudes for my Commonwealth Army, just so I can have them yell, "You fucking dog," over and over again. That sucked, by the way. That sucked. I apologize to all the Australians out there. I gotta work on my New Zealand one too. The Kiwis are a little bit more laid back, but I just gotta watch the video of that one dude that yells when he goes fishing, and he's like, "You fucking, oh god, you fucking dog." He's like yelling at the stingray. It's so fucking good. He's like catching like a crab takes his bait. He's like, "Oh, I oughta." He's like yelling at it. Oh, it's so good. Like, I love the Australians, alright? Alright, they got durries. They're doing burnouts and oots. They said, you know what? I'm going to take a Pontiac GTO and turn it into a truck. So I can do burnouts and go pick up like 10, 12 packs of beer down at the Bev. Shit's sick. I would love me a freaking oot. A Holden or something, dude. Or just a regular Holden. Give me a regular Holden. They don't make any goddamn V8 manual muscle cars that are sick anymore. They have some Mustangs and stuff, and the Mustang isn't actually that bad because it has an independent rear suspension. But like the Holdens are like freaking, you could turn that into a drift car. So cool. I was just saying we're not here to fuck spiders. It means we're not here to muck around. Okay, that's perfect. You learn something new every day. I miss Tiki though. What did he say? My local shop talked me into doing a release demo promo thing for EOJ Invasions for K47 V2. I'll be at my local shop with my Tiki Terrors IGA. Oh hell yeah, dude! Yo, take some photos for us. Take some sick photos for us so we get to see. And I want to see some good photos. Every photo I've seen of your army has been in an unlit cabinet when they're in the cabinet. You can't even see it. Let me get a nice photo of those Tiki Terrors, dude. I'm excited. All right, back to work. We'll see you, dude. You should look for Foster's Lager UK adverts, Mike. Oh yeah, okay, Foster's. No, Foster's is that's like a meme. Like they don't drink that shit in Australia. But what you're saying is I should use U.S. Foster's beer commercials from the 90s as my Australian accent. You're totally right. Because it's like a borderline like insulting stereotypical what Americans think of Australian accents. I know most Australians don't talk like that. That's like a very exaggerated thing. But you're totally right. Or like an Outback Steakhouse advert. Come on down and get your bloomin' onions. Mm-hmm. It's rat piss, but decent adverts. Gotcha, okay. Yo, what's going on, Frosty? How's it going, dude? What have you been up to? Did you get down with the war dogs? Were you war dogging it up or what? I was like, man, I didn't have the money for it at the time. And I was like, I'm not going to buy it because it's like you get to play it for a day or two. It's literally Arma 3 King of the Hill. I can't even tell you. It's literally Arma 3 King of the Hill. Which was one of the main reasons I actually bought a PC in the first place. That was the #1 game that I played for like the first year I bought my PC. While you guys still had Xboxes, you and Jay. I was like playing Arma 3 King of the Hill and getting the AK-12 and shit. So once I actually saw it's literally Arma 3 King of the Hill, but in a standalone game, I was like, oh, okay, this looks sick. There's like attack helis and shit. So I'm probably going to pick it up when it releases. On the 10th or something. You played it? Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, okay, so it's like a Battlefield type game. squad type game, but it didn't look like it's like squad where you have to, some dude's ordering you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like you do whatever you want. So it has some building type stuff, but it's not like the whole game is based off whether you guys, you know, have 15 Logi trucks perfectly or whatever, that sort of bullshit. And I was like, wait, this is literally Arma 3 King of the Hill. The towers are Arma 3 King of the Hill towers. There's 3, there's red, green, and blue, and they're vying for the hill that moves, and I'm like, this is literally the game I used to play years ago, but with new graphics and then first person. Okay, cool, count me in. I haven't done any gaming for a while now. I've just been straight up working on YouTube videos and fly tying stuff. So I'm excited to play War Dogs. War Dogs looks sweet. Count me in. I could have got you in last weekend if I knew it. I was editing a video. I was going to. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it. I might as well just pre-purchase it then. Screw it. But I had to get these videos done. We had the new Japanese release come out, so I pumped out some videos for the new Japanese models. We had to finish some battle reports. I had to get fly time videos done. I had to get flies done. So, I mean, even the timing of this game coming out, it's not very good for me with the fall run, but I'll find a little time to play. So, yeah, it looks like a sick game. I'm excited. Because that's what it is. It's like you're playing those sorts of games, but for money, and the money you can use to spend on stuff. That's literally what King of the Hill was. That's what made it so much fun, honestly. Because, like, you're slowly progressing up to the better gear and stuff. I'm sure we probably won't play it forever, but, you know. I'm down to try it out, so we'll see when it comes out. Until then, a million miniatures to paint, to put together, battle reports, Conflict 47... Got to tie a bunch of flies. The albies are going to be here any day, which are fish that everyone loves catching, including me. Oh, shit. I just realized you guys are staring at my dumbass. You fucking dog. Change the scene. I'm just trying to put brown wherever I can, honestly. You get brown. You get brown. I think I'm going to use a lot of, like, maybe some pallid bone for some khaki sort of stuff, maybe, and then I'll paint, or probably some greens for some, like, because we got some, like, police officers, but then there's a bunch of people, like, there's women in, like, nightclub dresses with, like, Uzis and shit, so I'm gonna give them, I guess, just, like, colorful stuff, I don't know. You've been grinding, I see. What's good with those zombies? Which ones? Oh, Garrett sent me, Garrett's coming tomorrow, by the way. He got his StarCraft stuff. So I told him bring it over and we'll figure out the paint schemes and I'll put together his StarCraft minis and then we'll film it. But what zombies? What are you talking about? So yeah, we gotta, I have so much miniature stuff to do. Especially because folks people have been asking about the Turks. You're not the only one, Ryan. I've had people like say, what's going on with those Turks? But they got sidelined a little because we just got like so much shit going on. The ones you tagged me in? Oh, I think it was just, they like, War Games Atlantic was giving away, they're like, hey, tag a friend and you could win a bunch of shit, which I normally don't, but I don't think there was a bunch of people doing it, and I figured, shit, it's probably worth it. I'm not usually the type of person that does that stuff, but War Games Atlantic is pretty sick. There's like a bunch of like freaking Pulp Fiction and zombie stuff. And what do you call it? You're like the only person other than Garrett, I think, that I follow on Instagram that I know in real life. What's going on with those Turks? Hell yeah. People say it all the time. Maybe I should have made the pump handle on this shotgun black, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm excited. We're doing the supply raid on Sunday, which is the first scenario for Invasion America. And I definitely want to do some more, like, videos that aren't just battle reports about conflict, like we did the video discussing the changes to the Japanese rules. So I'd like to figure out some more topics we can talk about for conflict. I think I'm going to start doing that, though, because Mordian has his videos he does, where it's like he takes his stream, so it's quite long. So what I'll do is I'll do the edited down, my own version of, like, if something like premieres or releases, I'll do like a shorter version that's more edited down. So, because I think, you know, there's a little gap, there's a place for it. If you want the real super deep dive with the inside knowledge, you can go to Morning. If you're like on the lunch break and you want to watch a new video about the Japanese, you know, you could watch mine or something, right? Or watch both. But they did pretty good. People seem to enjoy watching them, and that's the whole reason I make these videos, for you folks to watch them. So that's like, all right, cool, man. I guess we'll make some more conflict videos talking about units and any updates and changes that happen. At some point I'll figure out the formula too and get it figured out nice. I don't think we'll become the Auspex tactics of conflict, but we can keep people up to date on stuff, I guess, with some simple videos. They're pretty easy to make too. They don't take too much time, which is really nice. After spending 3 days editing a Turnip28 battle report, for instance. Why did you get those minis for the U.S. civilians? Where? They are... The male models are still available. Warlord Games summer sale, and you want to know how much they are? Alexander the Great. They are... You have to go here. They're $1.50 a sprue for 10. The female ones are sold out, and the weapon accessories, but this is the male sprue. This is what we're painting right now. They're either the men and the women Apocalypse Survivor sprues. They found these in the back of a warehouse, and they were like, we're getting rid of them. So I bought like 20 or 30 of these sprues for me and my buddy. But they're $1.50 from Warlord. Kind of sucks because, what do you call it? You need to spend enough money to get the free shipping if you're in the US. If you're in the UK, fucking pick them up right now. Otherwise, you may need to grab something else in addition. Otherwise, you're spending like so much money on shipping. So we bought so many sprues, so that helped. And I bought some Cerebus for the Commonwealth to finish off my British Army. So we got the free shipping at 80, but I mean, it was too good. And these are such sick models. And I was like, dude, I told Rev, he's like, get me 10 of each sprue or something. So I went crazy. But they came out great. They look fantastic. So for the civilians, I'll show you. I have 3-man units that have 2 SMGs, 1 shotgun. So it'll be something like this. I am going to have to use people with assault rifles, but that's okay. So it's going to be 5 3-man units of regular civilians with assault weapons. And then there are 2 units of 8 inexperienced green with rifles. And 2 units of 7 and then 1 unit of 6 green inexperienced. So I love this. I'm going to start using civilian militias in my main U.S. Army list. Because I just play with Rev. So we don't have to... It's not like I'm playing in a tournament. You know, we do narrative stuff all the time, too. So I'm going to start running freaking, like, 40 American civilians with shotguns and shit. Like, ah! Like, we'll do, like, the invasion of Detroit or something in 1940, and you have a bunch of blue-collar workers coming out in the city with, like, pistols. Like, pow, pow, pow. Bunch of U.S. war veterans from early on in World War II with, like, M1 Garands and, like, Japanese rifles they brought home. They're limited to 8. So I want to bump them up to 12, and I'm sure Rev won't care. And I'm gonna run them as inexperienced green because there's no inexperienced green units in the U.S. Army list. So they're so cool. I'm so excited. When we saw this on stream the other day, we were reading through Invasion America. This was the thing I was most excited about. This is honestly, okay. I will say the Shadow Warriors and the Oniara Walker are probably more exciting than this. But I will say I am the most excited about having like a civilian, like partisans. Essentially like having babushkas for the Russians or partisans for the French. These are just civilians, which is one of my favorite things. Just some regular people with guns, and the Japanese show up on your front lawn. You're like, not today, USA. You know? Fucking blasting. This lady has an RPG. Unfortunately, there's no RPGs, but she looks cool. We'll just say she has a rifle or something. And her arm just fell off. I'm gonna glue that back on. I think I super glued that, so I don't know if this is even gonna work now. I actually might need to use super glue. We'll see if it sticks. Yeah, this is like the thing I was most excited about. I was so excited for Civilian Militia. They mentioned new K-47 dice and bits at the seminar. They got cool zombies for each faction. I love the guys who asked about zombie wolves and Ursus. I heard about that. I didn't hear about zombies for each faction. Are you talking about for like just in general the Totem Core? And I haven't watched the whole thing. I watched like 2/3 of it, but I also was working at the same time and editing, so I might have missed some stuff. I know there was the one about like why not just make the rules the same for conflict and bolt action because they're so similar. We're gonna cover that. I think we'll watch that. Hopefully Warlord Game won't copy strike me because we'll be talking about it, making it informative. But I do want to watch the segment where they talked about making the two games the same or not. I know, so did I. I thought maybe they were going to Washington, to be honest with you. I thought they were maybe the Japanese, instead of it being a small thing, they were full-scale invading the United States. We've done the Japanese invade Alaska. Turns out the Soviets are going to Alaska, so we were a little off there. But yeah, I thought maybe it was going to be like Washington State, or we did ours where it was Oregon, I think it was, or was Washington State, I forgot. The pre-invasion battle report we did. But it makes sense. It's all about Area 51, Los Alamos, the Paragon program. That does make sense. I did not think about that, but that's why they write the lore for the game and not me, you know? The camera died halfway through, mate. I got notes, though. I will say the audio is not very good. They had like 2 mics on the table, but if they could like get somebody in charge of the audio engineering and maybe either a boom mic setup or something, or like lav mics, basic lav mics from Amazon, because I had to turn up the volume like all the way just to even hear it. But I'm grateful that they did it. Shout out to Warlord. They're not like freaking GW. They don't have like a freaking gigantic studio budget and all that, so I'm not complaining. Yo, Damn Legion, what's going on, dude? How's it going? Last night's Mordian stream was insane. He spent like 2-3 hours before he even got to the topic. Oh, yeah? What was he talking about? The Warlord Open Day yesterday, right? Yeah, that's Mordian, though. You know, my favorite was him deciding to do the Orc Codex review before the spoilers for Invasion Japan, and the entire chat was rioting to the point to where the mods were like, boss, we can't even do anything. It's solely up to you to finish this now, before they completely burn down the place. So, you know, Mordian, and plus, too, Mordian's getting like, dude, the guy's got to read super chats for 3.5 hours before you can even do anything. That's your guy's fault. But that's probably a good thing. The man needs to eat, so. But that's classic Mordian thing. I love it, though. Are we live on a random day at a random time? Essentially, Alchemy. Normally we would start earlier, so I had to start later to make sure I didn't get too consistent. You know? Sadly, streams in Nottingham isn't Nottingham Company strike. That's okay. They make really good models and a really good game, so. Yeah, I was dying laughing. Because you guys, the chat was freaking losing their mind. They were like, that's it, I'm never watching Mordian again. Like, some people were like losing their mind. I know everybody was memeing, but I bet you there were a couple folks that were genuinely like, dude, chill out, we get it, you know what I mean? But hey, that's the conflict hype. Like, dude, like Mordian's holding the Pandora's box in his hands, right? And everybody's waiting to see what's inside. And somebody's like, oh, but, you know, the Orc Codex leak. And I saw it in his eyes, and I was like, dude, he's a professional YouTuber. He has to do it. As much as he loves conflict and all that, he has to do it because it's, you know, he's got to pay his bills, you know what I mean? And that's like the Orc Codex leak is like peak Mordian content, right? So it's so funny. He had like a moral dilemma, I feel like, at first. He was like, he's like, fuck. And then he convinced himself. He's like, I could do it in 40 minutes, no problem. And then everyone in the chat was like, fuck you. And when he went over a little bit in time, that was it. Everyone lost their shit. But it was so funny. I was like, dude, I respect the grind. I get it. You know what I mean? I pumped out that video on the Japanese Army list in like no time the other day, right before my fly tying stream. It was like Christmas was postponed while the king raved about GW for too long. Oh, it was peak. It was so good. Yeah. It was so good. It was like he went through this moral dilemma because he needs the content about Warhammer, which gets the views, but at the same time, he probably loves conflict, and he knows that he was excited to talk about it. So he like was figuring out what he had to do. But my favorite comment was what Rev said. The chat was going wild. He never broke once. I would have broke. I would have been laughing. I would have been like, all right, guys, relax, please. He didn't break once. He just kept going. He's a professional. And Rev made a comment, which I was dying laughing when I read Rev's comment. He goes, you look like you're under duress or something. He looked like someone like put a gun to his head and was like, get the Orc Codex done. You know? And then the whole audience was like throwing like beer bottles at him at a stadium, like, ah! Meanwhile, there's some guy like GW is off camera with like a gun, and they're like, you're gonna do this, goddammit. Because that's how GW releases all of their new content, is they spoil it ahead of time, and then everyone's like, holy shit. That's like their release schedule, is it needs to get spoiled or leaked first, and then they'll talk about it, and then everyone pre-orders it. And they're like, you gotta buy it in 2 weeks, otherwise it's all gone, you fucking idiots. Classic GW. Last night, about $2,000 got dropped on trying to get one guy a membership. Oh my god. What, like randomly gifting a membership? Fishing for the right random gift membership? Yeah, I gotta say, dude, Mordian's got a amazing community. And a lot of the folks from Mordian Stream ended up watching us because we make conflict content and there's a lot of crossovers. So, and everyone's been awesome, you know what I mean? I lurk in the streams. If it's like something big conflict, I'll like chat, but a lot of times I don't really talk a bunch in streams in general. I'm usually working and I'll put a stream in the background. So I watch Mordian sometimes. I don't watch anything GW related and beef related because I can't take it. But what do you call it? Mordian's awesome. Shout out to Rev. Rev's like, I'm watching this YouTube stream about the Guard. I'm like, what are you talking about? You weren't even watching my stream. You're watching a YouTube stream about the Guard. And next thing you know, we're freaking making Conflict 47 content. The manhunt, he called it. Had to go to bed before K47 content. Good job, I went on the day. Good job, I went on the day. I misread that. That's crazy, though. That's wild. What do you call it? Dude, the Conflict 47 community's been amazing. Like, I'm a really small YouTube channel, and we get really good views. And it's not like, I don't think it's... I think, in general, Conflict doesn't get crazy views. It's not like getting 100,000 view battle reports in the first 2 weeks or something, like a play on tabletop. Mordian gets really, like, pretty decent, maybe like 10,000 views or something. But, like, I think the Conflict community is so freaking, like, passionate about the game. That's, like, the feeling I get, because, like, people just love, they want Conflict content like crazy, they love it, and, I don't know, it's not a small game. I think it's definitely grown to, like, almost like a medium size. It's gotten pretty decent following now, because just, like, from my analytics, because I have 2 YouTube channels, I have my fly tying one stuff. I'm just looking at analytics from different videos and games and stuff. But, yeah, well, that's what it was. I mean, dude, look, I don't want to talk. I will say this, dude. You want some fucking beef? Okay, I'll take it out. You guys want to see it? Well, one of, you know, I don't make a lot of money. All right, buying a freaking ball predator. All right, it's because I have my Blood Angels army is I have enough for, like, what is it, 2,000 points is a Warhammer game, right? I don't even remember. I have actual, like, GW models to go play a tournament at a game store if I wanted to. So I bought that. I bought this for my buddy. It was like $40-50 or whatever, but painted it up. They fucking legend the predators, dude. They legend suppressors. They legend freaking the Centurions. Primaris models. This is still technically there, but it's not going to be for long. The freaking... one of the most iconic Blood Angel vehicles, a freaking Ball Predator. You know what I mean? It's bullshit, dude. I hate GW. I saw that today. I was so pissed. Fucking cocksucker, dude. Dude, fuck GW, bro. I'm literally never giving GW another cent. I was like, Necromunda looks kind of cool. Nope. Never a single dime. I was already fed up with them, dude, but, like... they're like, just like, like, it drives me crazy. Like, thank God with Warlord stuff, at least, like, you can use your models or something. I mean, even if they've removed, like, a unit, you could still use it, right, or whatever, but I don't know. Dude, that pissed me off. I saw that, and I was like, that's, like, one of, like, it, like, pained me, because, like, Rev's going to tournaments. I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy real GW models, because it was all 3D printed, because 3D printer go burr. And then I was like, you know what? I can't go play Warhammer tournaments, dude, because it's like fucking 3 games. My back's already killing me after 1 game. You know, I can't play 3 games in a day. And then I'm like, you know, why did I buy those? They're sick. They're beautiful models. I love GW's models. I love the minis. They're amazing. I love Warhammer, the lore. It's all cool, right? I'm a huge Blood Angels nerd, but I just can't, dude. They're straight up. Here, buy this, and then they're like, nope, and then they smash it in front of you and say, here you go, buy a new one. You know, it's crazy. I just can't. You know what I mean? You got to play 500 points in 40K these days. Oh, is that what it is? 500 points? It's a joke how they operate. Gotcha. I first learned about 40K back in 3rd, and they had no idea how they operate, and completely agree. Yeah, we got in with 10th edition. I didn't know that that's how they operate. But apparently all the old school dudes are like, first time, huh? First time, eh? Yeah, it's crazy. Like you said, we're all fed up, beef and shit vibes. We are all, seem to be similar, similar age and just want a good story and good time. Yeah, the conflict community's been great, dude. And people aren't like, I know some folks, I'm sure some people are just in general innately very competitive and stuff. But like, it seems like good vibes. The community's got great vibes, and you know, I'm sure there's probably a couple sour apples or something as usual, but it seems like overall, you know, it's like, I feel like maybe if you go play a game with a random dude, a conflict, you probably will have a good time. You know what I mean? Sorry, that was my rant. That pissed me off. That beautiful Ball Predator is probably not going to be a thing, you know, especially not for 12th. I mean, not that we're probably going to be playing it, but GW doesn't even care if you use their official models as long as your scale is right. But isn't there Warhammer tournaments where you could only play with official Warhammer stuff, and like you can't have even like proxied bits on there and stuff? I remember. I don't know. I love the idea of the meme of you going and playing at a Warhammer store, official Warhammer store, and you got a 3D printed miniature, and the store employee just comes up and smashes it with a hammer. Has anyone made a skit? Because I've been, for years, wanting to do a skit where it's you go to a Games Workshop store, and you're playing, and the dude's like, he forgot he brought one of his 3D printed models, and the store employee sees it, and like, woo, hits like a store alarm, and they bring out like a sledgehammer and smashes into like the entire army, like, ah! You know? You know what I mean? Has anyone actually done a skit like that? Because I've been planning to do it for years. My buddy who's coming tomorrow, bringing this, he's going to be the GW employee. He's like literally almost like fucking 7 foot tall. He's like a huge dude. And I picture him just like smashing a model with a hammer would be one of the funniest things ever. I remember early 10th edition when Deathwatch were squatted, and I was so angry and disappointed with GW. But now Bolt Action, I'm not even feeling anything bad about the new Legends units. Yeah. Yeah, it's a no concern now, right? We've seen the light. I've seen the light, you know, a lot of us have. It's not like Warlord can move USMC infantry into Legends. That's true. Yeah, you remember that, like, actual history that was pretty much kind of dictated how the modern day world is and shaped everything about modern society. Yeah, no. Those guys, they were never real. That wasn't there. They're actually, what you need to buy is the US shoe corps. And they wear really big shoes. Yeah, no, they can't do that. That's right. No, but look at the new walkers. They're not legending old models. The new variants are just developments. Yeah. You guys want beef? Yo, bring this up. You know what? Maybe I'll bring it up. You guys want conflict beef? I found conflict beef. It's not really that crazy. Somebody's already made a video on it. It's scale creep, but I'm going to show you guys. My man, my man. I will say, scale creep in conflict is very real. I don't think it's extreme, and it's for a hero model, but let's take a look at the old Slammer Samuels versus the new one. First off, what's the most apparent thing that's right off the bat that you see? Ding, 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 that's correct. He was moved from a 25mm base up to a 32mm base. Second off, I will say he's not really that much larger. The old Slammer's is a tall son of a bitch. He's probably like 7 foot tall. The scale of this one's a little bit larger, I guess you could say, in terms of the head. I'd say this Slammer's is more reminiscent of maybe like... I guess you could say it's kind of like a Blood Angels captain thing, where like the hero's larger. That's not necessarily crazy. But this is the old official Slammer Samuels metal miniature. So he is slightly, like, look at the size of the head. The head difference is quite large. This Tesla gauntlet. But it's a new improved version. This is a really old one, right? But I will say, this is annoying, because look. Now what do? Do I put the old Slammers on a new base? This is why they should have made 2 Slammer Samuels. Give us badass Slammer Samuels, new unit ability. This could be late war 1944 Slammers. This could be, or whatever, or 1947. This could be an earlier whatever. So give us like Roberta Wells, where there's 2 different Roberta Wells. And this one could be the 25mm base version. So now I need to put him on a 32mm. And yeah. That's the one annoying thing. I don't like that. That's annoying. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So this, technically, I need to update this to a 32mm. Because if you look, he got updated to damage value 7. I was hoping they would buff his Tesla gauntlet, because it really only works against freaking tanks. You can use it against other stuff, but it's only useful against tanks. He just dies running into a walker, because walker get auto hits. So, in infantry, he just sucks. Like, he's died to Ursus infantry every time I tried to kill something. So I was hoping they'd buff him, maybe give him Paragon bodyguards or something. But I will say damage value 7 is really big. Right? Yeah, they could do a... versus a propaganda slammer. No, they could just say, like, this was... He went through the Los Alamos twice or something. I don't know, write it in the lore. He's like, they gave him a double juice injection. You know what I mean? I wonder if the new Paragons will be bigger bases now. That's something I really hope they don't. I want to see the Paragons stay on their bases. We have the U.S. heavy infantry are on small bases. Almost all of the units are on small bases. The only time they go to larger bases is when you have the robots or the Shrek in. So, I would hate to see it, but if that is the case, that is. Nobody freaking uses the regular Paragons now because they're not relevant in any way, shape, or form to the actual models. They come with like a big dude and a small dude and a dude with a hatchet and a dude with a sword. That's because in first edition you could pick like 3 dudes and they were all different. They were like almost like separate characters. So they got to redo the Paragons at some point. But yeah, I think it's because he's a hero. I really hope the Paragons don't go to 32mm bases. It kind of makes sense. But I don't know. I guess it depends. But yeah, I guess we'll see. He's a hero, so I get it. They bumped him up and he's just larger, right? This old Slammer Samuels was like from the first edition, and now they've kind of rewritten a lot about, I think, how the lore and everything, the world is from first edition, if I'm not wrong, where they changed some things. Because there wasn't even Rift Dice in first edition Conflict. That's something they talk about. So, that's interesting. I wonder if Leo and the new Paragons will be bigger. Yeah. Oh, is that his name? Leo, right? Yeah, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator. That's going to be our Paragon hero. So that's the other thing. Where is the Paragon hero stats? And where is the Soviet sniper team stats? Because Invasion America's out. We're going to film the first game, but in like the third or fourth scenario, we need Leo or the Paragon hero. So hopefully they release it at some point. Otherwise, we're going to film up to a certain point, and then we can't film any more of Invasion America. So I'm really hoping they release it soon. We know the models. We've seen the models from the Warlord Open Day, and they look sick. Both the Soviet sniper team and thing. Oh, there's some big pre-orders. They said on Saturday there's big pre-orders in a few weeks. Okay. So you'll probably what they'll do is they'll probably do the pre-orders and then maybe put out the stats, because it's Invasion America's here. People are going to want to play with it, right? I think pre-order comes Friday for them. Oh, okay, we'll see. All right, well, Rev, what do you call it? Before you order anything, we'll talk about it, because I definitely want the Paragon dude. I'm assuming you're going to want the Sniper Soviet girls, but you already have minis, I guess. We'll see. We'll see what the deal is. I guess we'll have to see what the pre-orders are. You know? Jeez, I just got roped into an hour-and-a-half work call instead of interacting with the stream. Well, that's all right. I appreciate you hanging out, Nix. Sorry you had to do your work call, but what do you call it? We're just hanging out. We were just painting and chit-chatting. We are going to take a look at this Warlord video here in a sec. I'm going to go grab a drink. And, again, this is something that I was really interested in. Me and Rev talked about this. I still need to edit this video. Me and Rev sat down and just talked about our experiences with Conflict for like 45 minutes. And something we talked about was, why didn't they make the two games the same rule mechanic-wise? They address that in the video. So I want to go and we can watch the video, and I'll pause and we'll talk about it. But I just want to watch that one question, because they do talk about it. And it was kind of interesting hearing them explain it, so I figured I'd let them do it, you know what I mean? The civilians look great. Dude, they look so freaking good. They look so freaking good, and they fit so well. Some of them, I would say, look more like 1980s, but that's like the newest. They don't look like they're 2000s or something. They look like, or maybe 2000s. There's like a couple girls that look like they were in a Matrix movie or something. You know what I mean? But even then, they're all, I would say, like the latest, the 80s or something. So they kind of fit in the 1940s vibe. It's nothing like too set in one era. It's just like American civilian survivors. There is M16s and AKs and Tech 9s. So I guess you could say it's probably like 70s, 80s or something. But it's great for Conflict. You like the different sizes? Yeah, there's Big Bertha with a rocket launcher. Where's she at? Big Bertha with a rocket launcher. You got Little Susie with a 357 Magnum. They give you like skinny people, heavier people, taller people, shorter people. It's nice. They give you like a nice variety of just appearances to give you a diverse crowd of different Americans. Because that's one thing about America. We're diverse, baby. That's one thing I love. You got everybody under the sea. You got every sort of nationality and everybody. So you can't have American civilians just being one way or another, because in reality, you got, especially in New Mexico, you probably got Mexican immigrants. You probably have all sorts of different nationalities and stuff. So I was kind of thinking, I'm like, these are going to be, you know, American civilian militias. So I like them. They're great sculpts, great models. They look sick, and they're going to be fantastic for like Zona Alpha. If I put some gas masks on some, maybe gas mask heads, or if I use them for any sort of zombie game. Either like a D&D campaign with zombies, or, you know what, that sort of thing, like tabletop RPG, or any sort of zombie-related thing. I know there's like Zombicide, I think, a game and stuff. They feel more Stranger Things than Rift. Did you try bolt action arms on them? I did not. I did not. This is what I will say. They're not kit bashable. Or they are very unfriendly when it comes to switching stuff. The arms are very specific in how they're cut and how the joints are fixed. So I tried swapping arms between some, like for a shotgun, for this and that. They're not very modular. The contact points and the arms and like the way they're angled are very specific that they just do not work with bolt action stuff. And bolt action miniatures are larger than these guys. So if you look at a bolt action arm, a lot of times it's like a larger contact area than on these guys. They're very kind of like a little bit skinnier, these guys, I would say, for the points. I did like look at one, but I was like, just even trying to take arms from one dude to another dude in this was not easy. And like it was very hard to get them to line up without looking like crap. So I'm sure you could have done something, but you know what? Honestly, I don't care. Because I use M16s on my Paragons. There's AKs on Daughters of the Motherland. So who's to say they don't have M16s? Maybe Stoner developed the AR platform rifle a little bit earlier because of the Rift. You know what I mean? So, thanks for taking the hit pathfinding on that then, mate. I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure certain bolt action arms, but if I take a look at a bolt action arm, here's Winter Hare Infantry. If you look at the connection point, you see how big that is? That's what a lot of bolt action minis look like. They have a very large contact point because they're all essentially modular, right? You can switch arms from one to another. Now look here. The contact area of this arm is so tiny. So the scale isn't right. The scale is kind of wrong. But it's enough to where these models on the table, like next to Slammer Samuels, don't look wrong. They kind of look right. Slammer Samuels is a Paragon, right? They're kind of bolt action size. The problem is, like, the actual dimensions of their arms are too skinny compared to bolt action models. So they're old sculpts. They're made in China. They weren't made in the Warlord factory. They're kind of shit, I will say. The connection points for these sucked. Like, however they set up the sprues sucked. But that's clearly why it's something that they don't sell anymore or whatever. And it was made in China. It wasn't made in, like, the Warlord factories or something, so. But, like, they had connection points that were half... I don't know, it was so hard to explain. It was, like, going into the arm in a weird way, and you had to cut it, and then cut it in, like, 2 ways. It was really annoying. Yeah, the body sizes and the arms are all specific and all different size, so it's kind of, like, annoying. There is some modularity. You can swap some stuff, but... Is that because bolt action is more epic hero scale? I don't know. It's 28. Is it heroic 28 mil? I don't think so. I think it's that whoever made these sculpts back in the day for this game just made them in this sort of proportions. And in bolt action, I would say it's like, I guess you're right. I guess that is the proper way. It's like that war art, the American like propaganda art or something, or the famous art from World War II, those scenes. It's like kind of like, it's almost like a little derpy look. If you look at a bolt action dude's face, he's like doing some crazy face. It's like a derpy ass sort of game, you know, sculpt. But that's part of the charm of bolt action models. Because if you go on My Mini Factory and you look at World War II sculpts, you can find ultra realistic proportioned World War II miniatures. They don't work for bolt action. They're not like, you need that like stubby, yeah, you know, like they're kind of like, they're a little stubby in bolt action, and their arms are like, and their heads and their necks, like there's like a certain look. And they base the whole look of bolt action off of that old school art style, the World War II art style. You know what I mean? Did you see the fellow with the big cake, bum cake? No, I did not. No, I saw the French dudes with the wine bottles, but oh, and just what do you call it? There's some funny. What was it? That one Soviet miniature, I think it was, that when the Soviets came out, everybody was like, what the hell is this guy's face? It's very strange. I have not seen it. I've seen the Warlord Judge Dredd models, the fatties. Those guys are sick. Yeah, hero scale. So I guess you're right. It is hero scale. That's what stopped me from going to War Games Atlantic. Yeah, I will say we have the War Games Atlantic Turks. They do work nice. So this is the War Games Atlantic. And this is the... I think they might even be 32 mil. I'm not certain. But this is the War Games Atlantic. I will say it's a little less derpy. But the War Games Atlantic stuff does work. Now, mind you, this is Deathfields. This is not their World War II Ablaze miniatures. But it does, you know, I think it does work. I think it's derpy enough, the War Games Atlantic, some of the stuff. It works pretty good. Like, the half of the Turkish army's War Games Atlantic. But I will say, a lot of their historical stuff, it's like hit or miss for bolt action stuff, I guess you could say. Oh yeah, it's the Turks. I want to try War Games Atlantic Survivors then. I mean, dude, Tabletop Command Post uses the War Games Atlantic Space Nom or the Gun Ho guys. Let's take a look. War Games. And they look fantastic. They're actually, I think, better than my Paragons that I use. I do like mine, the Doctor Store Green Hell Division or whatever it is. I do think, though, after seeing Tabletop Command Posts Thane, I think his is better. Reptilian Overlords. Is this the one? The Space Nom minis? I think these are better Paragons. They're nice. Is that the ones, though? I think these are the ones, right? By the way, they got the new Deathfield stuff. The Damned Infantry. They look pretty freaking sick. I mean, if you were doing, like... I mean, you could totally use this for... some of the weapons, maybe not. I was going to say, you could probably use this for conflict. Make these some weird, like, German cult army or something. I mean, Cosmic does. Cosmic's got 40k weapons and half his stuff. If you want to be super traditional, I guess not. But that guy's got a regular shotgun. That looks like an AK. That guy's got a machine gun. Wait, you could totally use this for conflict. You just take out the plasma guns. Yeah, Dark Mechanicus. Why don't you just make them so... You could just use these as, like, stormtroopers or something for the Axis and use them as, like, some sort of crazy cults. Like, the Rift has driven them crazy and they're all cutting their faces and shit. Their version of the Rift is, like, demons they're worshipping. They look sick. I love these guys. Yeah, they have, like... That's, like, a straight-up HMG. And that's an AK right there. You could totally just use this in conflict if you wanted to as some sort of proxy. Maybe Russians. Yeah, Siberian veterans. I was about to say, they're kind of like, almost like, not the power armor, but like, you know how the Soviets had those guys with the armor plating that we looked at last stream? In bolt action you can use them. They're the Soviet veterans, or engineers. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like a more modern version of that, you know? Or is it the Ura? No. I mean, these guys will work good, too. These guys will work as some sort of specialist thing, you know? It's a little bit more sci-fi, I would say. But I'm trying to see. Which were the ones that Tabletop Command Post used? I think he used... Was it the Space Nom ones? Oh, I completely forgot about these, by the way. I completely forgot about these. Really, there's not much you can use, but these guys, you could use them for something. I think if you were going to make your own Fireflies with jetpacks, these guys would probably be sick. Because look, they even have Tesla-looking guns. Even though they're like Tesla Garands. Yeah, they're M1 X1 Garand Tesla rifles, essentially, energy rifles. Do they come with Thompsons? Oh, there is some Thompsons. You could make these guys into, if you wanted to make your own Fireflies or something. I'm kind of hoping we get like a lightly armored Here's the thing. I want U.S. infantry with MX-1 Thompsons. That's what I want. Didn't they use the Nam Catachan guys? Yeah, that's what I think it is. It's the Reptilian Overlords one. Yeah, these guys you can use, the Stormtroopers. I think these guys would work pretty good for the Axis. If you're trying to go for Stormtroopers. I mean, it's as close as you can get. You know what I mean? Problem is, it's like, are you ever going to use a ton of Stormtroopers? I suppose, I guess, if you wanted to. They would look sick, for sure. They said infantry are roughly 4 months out. Yeah. I'm always gushy about proxy and 40k. Too many people complain about it. If somebody complains about you proxying in conflict, then they're probably not the type of person you want to play with. I get it, you know, if it's one thing, but if Cosmic came to the table and his army is completely, like, almost handmade, as long as he tells me this is that and it's, like, pretty easy to tell what's what, then it's like, who cares, dude? You know what I mean? I feel like the whole vibe of bolt action and conflict is like, hey, let's just have fun and play, you know? Yo, Squig Herder Sean, you son of a gun. Coming in with the 5 gifted memberships. Sheesh. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Very, very kind. You get some 07s in the chat. Or whatever emotes you want. We got a couple different emotes here for you guys to play around with. I gotta add some more. But thank you, Sean. Appreciate it, dude. How's it going? What have you been up to? Yeah, it's these ones, the Space Nine ones. Yeah, they look good. You know what? I kind of think I actually like mine better. These aren't bad, but like my dudes have M16s, which I really like. I will say I kind of like the actual models, the miniatures better here. But if Cosmic was against me, I'd spend 2 hours admiring his kit bash. Yeah, exactly. You mean you're going to be counting how many super glue caps you can find on the feet of his walker? Yeah, yeah. And how much cheese he's smuggled into the tournament in his pockets. Alright, very cool. Alright, we're going to take a quick little break. I'm going to go run and grab a drink. Dude, there's a freaking... I started the stream and there was a burger and fries sitting down there. But I said I was going to start around 2:30 and it was like 3 o'clock. So I'm starving. I cannot wait to eat. But that being said, we're still going to be streaming for like at least another hour or so. I think Mordian's probably going to be going live at some point. So, what do you call it? We'll stream until, probably till then. And then I got to get back to work and get some video stuff done. But we got some more painting to do. What I really want to do is I want to watch that small segment in that Warlord video so we can kind of hear the explanation on why they didn't. And just talk about it, because I had some thoughts on it as well. On why he, what do you call it? Oh, he's been on an hour? Okay, then cool. Then I'm not worried about it. Still, we usually stream 2-3 hours or something. But howdy, everyone. Just want to remind everyone, y'all, Tiki's and real. You just paid me, so I go along with it, but I really want to stand up for Tiki's honor, you know, because, you know, he's one hell of a megalodon tooth diving scuba diver, you know what I mean? But that's okay. Mordian banned me for insisting he wear pants. Well, I mean, can you blame the guy? He wants a nice breeze on his crotch. He's always wearing a bathrobe. Is that why? He's completely naked from the waist down. I admire it. If I didn't have to get up and walk every once in a while, I'd do the same. Here for the K47? Alright, sweet. Yeah, so when I get back, we'll take a look at the video, and we'll talk a little bit about K47 and whatnot, and bolt action, and why they didn't make them the same. And we'll do a little bit more painting and all that, and yeah, what do you call it? Then I'm going to feast. I do need to... It's probably going to come out tomorrow. It'll be the Ghost Platoon unboxing. We're going to... I got to edit that tonight. So, all the Japanese stuff I'm trying to get out ASAP because it's... K47 hype is real. And, you know, good eyes on the channel, so... He always has his junk framed on the left when he's painting. Look, dude. Let the man... Let it... you know, he's just letting the boys breathe. That's all. You know what I'm talking about? Alright, chat. We're going to take a quick little break, and when I get back, we're going to... Oh, let me pull up this video. Let's pull up this video. I recorded hog sounds for the Turnip28 video. Oh, you guys can't see it, but... Alright. I think it was somewhere right around here. Hey, look, Ryan responded to my comment. Second this. Also, Warlord, can you get in touch with Mike? Reference his Turkish faction, self-designed. Ah, thank you. Appreciate that, my friend. No, look, we've come up with our own conspiracy theory, okay? I don't know what I did. Okay, and this is a joke, by the way. We love Warlord here. But go along with the joke. Warlord hates me, okay? Japanese invade Alaska. Well, well, well. Look who comes out with Invasion American a little while after. Coincidence? I think not. Turkish faction. Then we find out, yes, they plan on doing a Turkish faction. Clearly, I'm handsome, good-looking, charming. So it's like, why wouldn't they add me to their affiliate program? On the other hand, I applied for their affiliate program, and that was about half a year ago. So, but I think they're just busy, and I also am a smaller channel. So, but this is my goal, and I'm saying this now, Warlord. I want you to hear this. This is my goal. I am giving it all for conflict. I will get to the point to where Warlord will not be able to ignore it. I will be the king of Conflict 47. I will dethrone Morty in glory. And I will rise to power until they can't ignore it any longer. And they have to make a new hero character for the U.S. with this guy's mug right on it. I might... Round of applause. So that's the plan. I'm just gonna become the face of Conflict 47. Your move, Warlord. Your move. No, I'm just joking, by the way. I'm sure they know about me. They probably already... They have a ton of stuff, like people they work with on Instagram and YouTube and all that. And I'm a smaller channel and stuff. I don't really care if they ever officially work with me. It'd be great to get stuff early. So, like, for instance... Let's say we got all the Ghost Platoon stuff early. Obviously, I can't show you guys and leak it. But what I can do is I can give it to Rev and say, here, go. Build it so you don't need to rush and build an entire platoon box in a couple weeks. And that way we're ready to film. So we can film, have the video ready for the release. That would be fantastic. But the whole reason I'm doing this, chat, is for you guys. And us. We love playing Conflict. It's our favorite game. I like making videos. But you people really enjoy watching Conflict 47 content. So I do it for you guys. I don't do it for Warlord. I don't do it for whatever. I mean, we did one video for Tabletop Strategist. Shout out to them because they paid for it. Okay? I will do it. If you pay me, I will do it. Okay? I'm broke. But I do for you guys. So whether or not Warlord ever officially makes a Warlord, Mike Rolls Dice Paragon character where I'm Arnold, like I got double HMGs and I'm like gunning down Soviet communist dogs. That's okay if that never happens, you know, because we just enjoy playing the game, making content. But, you know, at some point, they will not be able to ignore me. I want to make sure. All right? I'm pumping out that Conflict content. I'll tell you what. We start sending them unsolicited gifts. I've been sending them used underwear, and they have not responded once. Is there laws against that in the UK? I'm good, right? I can send people used underwear in the UK? I'm joking, by the way. Get someone to model one and... Oh, we're 100% going to have a Rev Mini. We're going to have... I want a Morty Mini, dude. I know you got the Morty and Warhammer, dude, but I want, like, Morty and... I know there is. I saw one, he has tits. If somebody could send me a link to that for my own personal thing, that would be great, by the way, from his intro. But yeah, we need members from the community. We'll get Kaishiniku. Well, we'll commission Kaishiniku to make a Mike Rolls Dice mini. But you know what it'll be? It'll be like a basic infantryman. It'll be like I'll be the most fucking like weak ass fucking first to die miniature is what we'll have him do. Because I'm no Paragon, dude. I got a bad back. You know, it's rough. It's rough. I don't even know if the Paragon program could fix my back. I'll tell you that much. Yo, what's going on, Atlanta? How's it going, dude? All right, we're going to take a quick little break here. Yeah, shout out to Warlord Games. We love Warlord. Like I said, I've seen the light. I've been converted from a GW hater to an ultra GW hater and a Warlord Games lover. So, yeah. And if it wasn't for, dude, Morty and Glory and Bolt Action, it was like, you know, the religious moment when the light shines down and the guy was like about to like going through the hardest time, and God, you know, it's like, that's like what Morty and a Bolt Action was to us. Because I was like getting disillusioned with Warhammer, and I was like, I don't want to spend any money on this game, and they're constantly changing shit and this and that. And then we were like, oh, let's try this, and it just like, we had our epiphany, you know what I mean? So, rip Tim Curry. Oh man, I still want to play Red Alert 3. I think we're gonna have to do a playthrough on the channel, because I think Red Alert 3 is the closest you will ever get to a Conflict 47 game. There's just literally, Red Alert 3 is Conflict 47 in like 20 years in the future or something, or whatever it is. So, and Tim Curry is like the star of that fucking game. So, and it's one of my favorite roles he's done, in like you see on Instagram and shit. I love the clips. I went through and watched a bunch. I was like, we have to play this game. It's so good. All right, we're taking a quick break. I've been saying it for fucking half an hour. I'm gonna run and grab a drink, and when I get back here, we're gonna keep on jamming. So, what do you call it? Let me put on some other music here for you guys. I'll be back in a second, chat. All right. If you've been sitting around for the past, what is it? Almost 2 hours we've been streaming. No wonder why I'm starving. Stand up, grab a drink, do what you gotta do. Shake your Citadel paint bots. You know what I mean? They make a K-47 computer game. Look, we got Bolt Action. The official Bolt Action game. And as long as they allow modding, we will play Conflict 47 on tabletop. So, I'll tell you what, if they don't allow modding, that game's not gonna do good. Because there's only like a couple factions. They have to allow modding. If they allow modding for that Bolt Action game on Steam, chat, I swear to God, we will have Conflict on tabletop. So, they said at opening day they may be a thing. Really, a Conflict game? Sorry, the music was way too loud. A Conflict game? Holy. Depended on the success of the Bolt Action game. Dude, well, okay. Another rant. They only have the Americans, the British, and the Germans. No Soviets, no Japanese. They say they may plan on doing it in the future. There's only a limited amount of units and maps, and this and that. That Bolt Action game really needs to be a fucking banger. And I really think if they're not going to just give us the Russians, give us the Japanese, the Hungarians, the Finns, whatever off the bat, give us modding support on Steam. You give us modding support on Steam, you have endless possibilities, including the base mechanics of Conflict are there with the Bolt Action game. You can just add new units. I don't know about running animations for Ursus, but at least you can have an Ursus infantry and have it move. It'll move and do the thing, you know what I mean? Buy the game, they will expand it, is what they're doing for K-47. I mean, we're buying the game anyway, because I plan on covering it on the channel and doing some Bolt Action, you know, maybe even recording me playing the game. And the other thing is playing against the community. If you guys also buy it, then we can play Bolt Action on stream against each other, which is sick. Did you hear about Bolt Action Seminar? I took notes at both if you want them. I didn't. No, I didn't hear. I think this is the Conflict Q&A. Or did they record the Bolt Action one? Is that going to be on YouTube? Or, to be honest with you, I don't know a ton about Bolt Action. I play it. It's fun, but I'm not an expert. I don't know a lot. I'm not as well versed as Conflict. But if you got any interesting tidbits or something. But yeah, we'll see, dude. I'm telling you that I'm so excited. If they just give modding, then everything's good, you know. And then if they give modding, then people will have Soviets and Japanese, and the game's going to be a success. So, camera died on K-47, which is last. Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. When I get back, we're going to listen to this little segment here, and then we'll keep chatting for a little bit. And I'm going to go devour food after that. So, all right, chat. I'll be back in a sec, all right? Appreciate you folks chilling. Un momento. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that, chat. Had to stretch my back a little bit and grab a drink. Sitting down forever. Okay, so here's the thing. I can actually probably turn the AC unit off. My neighbors were outside. I didn't want to be screaming the whole time. Also, they got a very yappy little dog. Starting to cool down though. It's not freaking 8 million degrees like it was recently. Alright, so let's check this out. I gotta see when it was.
New Soviet stuff consumed. Have you been up to this? And that wasn't.
A few of the players in my.
Okay. I think it was around here, which I need to turn it up. The fucking audio was so quiet on this. They're doing their best. You can tell they got 2 Rode microphones on the table, which is probably doing the work for both. I'm just happy they do this in general, and you could tell it's like these dudes enjoy the game, like they enjoy what they do. You know, it's not like some corporate bullshit or something. You know what I mean?
Is there a question?
Firstly,
yeah, this is it. This is the question. So, well, let's listen.
Is my favourite game of all time, and I've been wargaming for 30 years. So well done.
Thank you very, very much.
However, I've noticed.
No.
That part's loud as fuck.
Well,
Shit.
thanks a million for coming on to the seminar. Brilliant.
The guy said it's his favorite game that they made.
A few of the players in my local group and myself noticed that obviously Conflict 7 is based on bolt action in terms of core rules, but a lot of small rules, even with the same name, have different effects between the two. And some of our players are getting confused when they're trying to play both games, and some people have chosen, I can't do this, I'm just going to play bolt action and I'm not going to play conflict. In my case, I'm playing conflict and I'm only occasionally dipping into bolt action because there are so many of these tiny rules that are different between the two.
So, like, the guy's saying that at his gaming store, he's trying to get people, I mean, a bunch of people play bolt action. And we have a ton of people that play bolt action on Long Island, apparently. I didn't know there's a bolt action league up the island. If you guys don't know, Long Island is absolutely massive. It's like, I think, 120 miles long. And, what do you call it? So I'm somewhere out on this area. Okay, I'm not going to tell you exactly where, obviously. It seems like a lot of the bolt action stuff happens out here, which closer towards the city. So that's like a freaking hour drive, it seems like, if we want to go. But apparently there's a bolt action league on Long Island. So, but I'm guessing it's probably somewhere closer to Nassau County, and we're in Suffolk. I think there's a gaming store somewhere around here is the one that Rev was going to, or no, maybe around here-ish. Still about a 45-minute drive. He was going to play Warhammer, and they don't even have bolt action at that store. So I don't know where this bolt action league is. But I don't even have a store to go play at on Long Island. And if it is, it's borderline New York City, which is pretty freaking far away. But so he was talking about how bolt action, they have a ton of people, or they have people that play bolt action, they're trying to get people to play conflict, but apparently some folks, and I don't think, I mean, it's like, how big of a deal is it for you guys? I don't think it's that big of a deal. The difference is, like, there's Tough Fighter, and there's the measuring. I think there's some more small things, but apparently, I mean, that's enough, and I could see why people essentially, especially when getting into a new game, like any sort of barrier to entry and stuff that makes it harder can at times affect your decision. But apparently some people are like, oh, I'll just stick with bolt action, you know what I mean? And one of the things me and Rev talked about is like, why didn't they just make the two games the same? They're so close to being the same game. It's just these slight variations, like Tough Fighters, where you can reroll wounds in bolt action, as opposed to getting an additional attack and in melee, extra die in conflict. Because it really is just some small stuff. And it made me think, like, would it be better if bolt action and conflict were, the rules were, if they tweaked a couple things and they were identical? Now, we're kind of spoiling this section of the conversation that me and Rev had in this video that I still need to edit. I should probably do it soon because we were talking about what we thought Invasion America was going to have. But one thing Rev pointed out, I think this is great. Bolt action is a really big community and strong community. So you don't want to change bolt action rules for conflict. If anything, conflict's rules needs to mirror bolt action. And I'm sure there's some stuff there where it kind of clashes because of the different units and abilities in conflict. But I think that's something, I was like, I wonder if that's stopping people, because me and Rev said we could play a game of conflict almost without even almost needing to look at the rule book now. We've gotten it so good. And you would think, with the games being almost identical in mechanics, other than small things, that we could just pick up a game of bolt action and play it without any issues. But we both came to the conclusion we probably would need to reference the rule book for bolt action, because there are enough differences to where we wouldn't want to screw it up. So I do think there is some merit to, maybe it's better to actually just have both games not have those minor differences and find a way to still, you probably want to not do anything to bolt action in any crazy way, because bolt action has such a good, strong, long-standing community that's been playing the game for such a long time. So you don't want to drastically change that. But yeah, I don't even know. I should probably try to find a list of what the differences are, too. But it keeps the connection there, too. I have 2 5-man Russian ship munchers with flamethrowers for running objectives to have the humidity horror factor. What do you mean, though? Like, is it a... like, it's a good thing to leave it the way it is, or you want it the way it is, or you want them to make them the same, or whatever? Because then that would allow you to then, I think, would that affect... Right now, you can choose to take bolt action units in the app, but by default, it kind of hides the bolt action units. So I wonder if the rules were literally the same altogether, then would it be even easier just to say you can take any bolt action unit? Now, that's the question. We haven't even gotten to their response. So let's listen, because they do talk about this. Ed Scar asked the question. Oh, I was wondering. I was gonna say I didn't want to sound racist to British people or prejudiced, because I'm sure to you guys certain American accents sound the same. So if you took probably a bunch of New Yorkers that grew up on Long Island and we all talked, you'd be like, oh yeah, they all have pretty similar accents. And I didn't want to be like, is that fucking Ed Scar? Because it really does sound like him. But then I'm like, I don't know. British accents can be tough I'm like, because I feel like some of the other people in the room also sounded like Ed Scar. I fucking knew that was Ed Scar, dude. This sounds like an Ed Scar question, by the way. This is totally an Ed Scar question. 100%. Because he's like pushing it a little bit, you know? I love it.
People come up with cheat sheets where it's like, this is the bolt action version of the rule.
I fucking knew that was Ed, by the way.
I know you're aware of it.
I didn't want to say anything, though, because I didn't want to sound like a dumbass.
How to kind of deal with that as a group.
So this is their response.
Yeah. It was all a deliberate choice to make things work, because we have to change those things to make it work within the context of everything else and work how we wanted that game to be. So my brief was, and you've probably all heard this before, but there's the Rift, and that wasn't in the previous version of the game. Like I said, if I was playing Conflict, I nipped away for 10 minutes, somebody had swapped all of my models for bolt action models, I could still play the game and it would never feel kind of different. So he said, my brief was, you've got to take that part of the intellectual property and weave that deeply into the game. So you have to feel like the Rift is such an important part of the game, because that's what the story's all about and how that changed the world. And that's how I ended up with like all of the Rift rules and the Rift tech and Rift dice and everything. So it's that layer of bit. And then being able to do that and play in the way that we wanted Conflict to play, because it isn't a supplement for bolt action. And actually, what we really wanted to do was go to loads of people who've never played bolt action and say, got a really, really cool game. And that's how we made that decision. That's really great feedback.
So counterpoint. And I think I like what you... So I really don't see how hard it is to learn a minorly different rule system and to quickly look it up if you're unsure or confused. Well, that's the whole thing. It's really not that big of a deal, I think, personally. I don't think it's actually putting people off from playing the game. Because I think the differences are so small. Tough fighters, the measuring after declaring your action and moving, you get to measure. In bolt action, you have to pick your target, and if you're in range or not, you can't shoot. In a conflict, you can choose who's ever in range after moving. There's minor things like that. I don't think that's enough of a barrier, personally, to think people aren't going to play the game. I think if they're not going to play the game, they're just not going to play it. Maybe they don't want to get the models, or they don't like the weird war aesthetic. I've heard a lot of people say, I don't like, oh, it's just Wolfenstein, it's Nazi zombies and werewolves, who cares, you know? I've heard some people that have that opinion. That's fine, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. I love Wolfenstein, I love that weird war aesthetic. So I don't necessarily think that that's a big enough thing to really put too many people off. I think it's more so people are looking for a reason not to play. I kind of agree with you, Sean. But at the same time, it is kind of annoying, like, being like, oh yeah, we screwed that up. Tough fighters is actually reroll wounds. Oops, that actually may have had a huge impact on that turn or something. So I'm like, is it? But so this is interesting. What they said is, previously in V1, you could take... I went to take a piss. You take all my conflict models off the table and you put bolt action units on there and you could just still play. That's kind of still the same, honestly. And they, I guess, added slight changes to the version of bolt action and conflict, V3 bolt action and V2 conflict, to make it feel different enough. I honestly don't... I feel like that answer, is that really... They minorly changed the rules in some things that are for both bolt action and conflict, and that's what makes the game different enough from for Warhammer players to try it. I don't know if I necessarily... Not that his answer is wrong, that's their direction, but I don't know if I necessarily think that that's... I think if you had the rules be the same for bolt action and conflict, that's not the difference between a Warhammer player or somebody trying conflict for the first time. I think it's the reason they're trying it is because you have all the weird war cool shit and the walkers and stuff, right? I really don't think it's almost really makes a difference to somebody new trying the game if it's like, oh, well, in bolt action you get to reroll that wound for tough fighters. You know what I mean? I understand they added rift mechanics and rift dice and abilities to units. I mean, you have Rangers lead the way, I guess, in bolt action, right? But other than that, there's like no abilities in bolt action. Almost every single specialist or advanced infantry unit, other than some, have some sort of ability, other than like U.S. infantry and heavy ones, right? But so I don't think that if the game is exactly mechanically the same as bolt action, because even right now, it's such a minute difference that you're still virtually playing bolt action, other than very, 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 very tiny, minute things. It's literally bolt action with Weird War stuff. So I don't understand that necessarily, that response. Do you guys think, what's the changes between bolt action and conflict that he's referencing to that would make that much of a difference? And again, I'm not saying whatever, dude. I'm just talking about it. So personally, I don't really think it matters. I kind of would like it to be the same, just me, because I already have a hard enough time remembering Conflict 47 rules. Like we talked about this, do you get the? We figured it out, but do you get the pen halved, or do you not get the? What is it? When you're shooting with a heavy weapon at a tank over half of its distance, you reduce the pen. Would that also count for power armor or infantry? And I remember we had this conversation. Everybody was like saying different stuff in the chat, and then we figured it out what it was. But there's all these little minute things in conflict, which are great because it gives it crunch. But me personally, you can ask Rev, it takes me like a freaking year to learn a game system and like really learn it. Rev picks it up like that. And we make mistakes, but he's very good at learning stuff quickly. Me, it takes forever to fucking wrap my head around this stuff. And not to mention I have to do the damn editing of the battle report. So I'm like, somebody's like, nope, that's not how that works. And I'm like, I think I just screwed it up. We played it right, but me, I just don't understand what the hell was going on there. And I had to narrate it. Like when walkers fight each other, can someone tell me how walkers fighting each other in chat works in one paragraph? It's not easy. Like in a clean way. It's like, well, you for each attacks with the arms and the legs and then the thing, and then whoever gets the most attacks, you take that, and then for each of the attacks you add that, and do they have different pen values, or does it not even matter? And then you take that and you make a pen roll, and you can have like a plus fucking 13 pen damage roll or something. Me and Rev like had to read the book, and I was like, how does it work? Just tell me what I need to do, because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. It's like the most fucking confusing thing. I'm sure once you play it enough, it's fine. But like for a new player, I was trying to wrap my head. I'm like, dude, I have no idea what let's just, okay, you got it? Okay, good. So anyways, touching back. I don't know. What do you guys think about conflict and bolt action? And should they be the same? Does it matter? I guess not. Does it being slightly different in this way, like, is that what's getting new people involved because they don't want to play bolt action? It's interesting. It's an interesting topic, and I bet you it was something they had to think about a lot on how they wanted to approach it. And I understand where he's coming from. They want the game to be different than bolt action. There's a lot of people that are like, I don't want to play bolt action. There's freaking Nazis. There's World War II stuff, my grandfather's in I don't want to play that, but they're interested in conflict. I know people that don't play bolt action just play conflict now because it's like more in line with traditional sort of wargaming stuff and less historical, more like fantasy. Maybe this has different context to V1 veterans like Tiki 2. That's what I'm wondering, because I'm not a bolt action veteran, right? So I was wondering, why can't they just make bolt action conflict the same? I think V1 had criticism for being bolt action mod, so they had to make it different enough to dispel it. I know they didn't want, Mordian talked about this, they did not want the game to be bolt action. They didn't want it to look like bolt action. They didn't want you using bolt action units. They want you using conflict because they want the game to look like conflict. I think they don't want the game to look like a mix of World War II and Weird War II. They wanted it kind of one or the other. They let you take basic infantry, but it's still expensive, and you can't have infantry platoons, stuff like that, right? You can have an engineering platoon. But I think what they're learning is, yes, they want the game to look different, but in reality, we want the bolt action stuff mixed in. I want my bolt action armies to be able to be played with conflict, and it to to work. And guess what? We played our Invasion America thing. There's a U.S. military base in the United States. Are they going to have all Rift units? No, the Rift units are fighting on the front line where the wars are. And people were like, oh man, why would you use an army like that? That sucks, you know, a bunch of mortars and artillery and basic infantrymen and paratroopers and stuff instead of all Fireflies. But that's the way it would be, right? And I feel a little validated because a lot of the missions in the Invasion America book are you're not allowed to have advanced infantry, you're not allowed to have specialist infantry because it's a military base and it's basic dudes. Even though that military base happens to be Area fucking 51, where the Paragon program is. So you are allowed to have one mech. Because you better have at least a Walker guarding Area 51. But so people want bolt action mixed with conflict. I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think they were cautious about it, right? But I pay a very small amount of money for the app, so most stuff is just click anyway if I don't know. Otherwise, yeah. But for instance, the app doesn't tell you how Walker combat works. You know what I mean? But yeah, I totally get it. And the app's great, $2 a month. And I'm broke, you know that. But I'll still pay that. I reckon the main issue for them is convincing those who are on the fence. It's a barrier to entry. Whether we want fussy players entering is another conversation, though. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm curious. We will finish what they're talking about here in a sec, too. It's very easy rules. The big mech goes crunch, crunch, bang, bang, and the wee mech goes whir, bang, bang, whoop, 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 screech. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I usually do. In fact, I'm just going to copy-paste that from now on. I'll have an AI version of Gary Busey's voice narrate that in the battle reports. I like the slight difference between the two. IRC, the rules for cover are pretty different and a lot crunchier for bolt action. Okay, so that's what I was curious. It seems, some folks like it. I was like, I don't really think it matters. It would be easier for me to try and remember the rules if they were similar, but our local meta was full Rift Tech when we discovered K47. Now it's about 75-25. Now as we like having normal infantry too. ChatGPT is great for working out sequence of complicated mechanics, though. I refuse. I'm vehemently anti-AI on this channel. You will learn if you haven't already. Cosmic's lucky. I like him because he's a big AI enjoyer. But yeah, a dead internet theory, yada, yada, yada. My YouTube is infested with shitty AI thumbnails. All the science channels and history channels run by real people are losing all of their views to AI slop. Small YouTube content creators aren't going to be able to get monetized now unless they get 8,000 hours watch time in 3 months, which is very hard. I barely make that. Luckily, I'm already monetized, and they're doing that because of the amount of AI slop. That's what they say. In reality, they probably just don't want to pay real people, because now it really just encourages people to use even more AI thumbnails, AI whatever, AI voiceovers, because now you can bang out more videos to get more watch time. So yeah, I'm very much so doom and gloom anti-AI, and sometimes use the Google AI thing, and even then, it half the time will give you answers that aren't 100% accurate. So I'm going to be honest with you, I would not trust ChatGPT to try and tell me how a mech fighting sequence actually works, because I don't actually think it probably doesn't even fucking know. Even the goddamn AI doesn't know how the conflict walker works. You need to find somebody like Squig Herder Sean that has a freaking leopard print fez. That's the guy. The guy that's playing conflict and his army, he's wearing a hat that matches the army of his models. That's the guy that knows how walker combat works. You just ask him. Guarantee you. Sorry, I had to do my anti-AI speech real quick. It's all good. You guys will never see me, though, use AI in any of my content. So I'll die on this hill, even if it means my channel dies one day to the AI overlords. But when the K47 mentor isn't playing out, sometimes we need help. But that's the thing. That's where you need to use your noggin. And it's okay to get it wrong. I guess you can use the AI, but everything is in the book. So You're relying on that stupid bot to understand it and tell you right. What if it's been doing it wrong the whole time? What if the AI chatbot, ChatGPT, works for GW and it's been giving you the wrong information? You're wondering, man, Walker Combat sucks in Conflict. It says if I roll a 1, I lose the game automatically. Yeah, it's sabotaging you because everybody knows GW has stocks in ChatGPT. All right, don't trust the AI. It's probably run by GW. I've actually just figured it out. Somebody tell Mordian. That's a new beef video. Don't they use AI in Warhammer? You're on, as you only described the bot as stupid. My Fez tells me to just open the book and read. Yeah, that's what I'm telling. So you need a speaking hat. Again, I don't know what Sean is smoking, or snorting, or drinking, or suppositories, but I'm telling you, that Fez, it's something magical. All right?
So I've just made a note that we will release a cheat sheet at some point.
They are making a cheat sheet.
To help people. If that is a real... I
God
need to
bless.
know real-world problems, so, if you've got those things, ping it to customer service and that.
I think maybe like a Conflict 47 to bolt action conversion sheet or something where it shows what are the different... Give us an FA... Like, you know how they have the FAQ? Give us a sheet that shows... You know how they go through like changes on army lists and they'll put like a rules log change for Turnip28 he'll do. And he talks about the changes. They should do something like that where it's a cheat sheet that shows you the exact differences between conflict and bolt action. Just so when you're playing, you're like, you could just look real quick and be like, how does this work for that? But then they would kind of be giving away rules. So... But, I guess they would need to do it in a way where they don't give away all of their rule mechanics and stuff for free, but... Ed said his group has sheets for that. Yeah, I know, but it would be great if they made an official thing, Because it's great that Ed's group has it, but where do I get that? Here in the U.S. and stuff. And it's also, I'd rather download it from Warlord than from some Facebook group or something, So good on them. It looks like they're doing that. They're going to make at least a cheat sheet. Even if it's just a cheat sheet on, like, Turnip28, for instance, has a great, quick how to, like, play the game, and it's, like, 1 page. You can't do that for Conflict, because you're going to need 3 pages on Walker Combat. I keep making jokes because Walker Combat's fucking crazy in this game. I'll show you real quick. If they make something like this... I know there's community ones for bolt action. We actually downloaded those when we got into it. Turnip28. Oh, I don't have it here. Anyways, it's like a 1-page thing it's like shows you the steps for your activations and how to go through, and it has your all that. So if they gave us like the morale values, the damage values, and certain things like the HE charts and all that, they have it in the back of the book. But if they made something where it's like a nice sheet you could print out and you can hand it out to people or something, that'd be a lot easier. I'll tell you this. I have one gripe. And I don't know if anyone agrees. And again, I'm not paid by Warlord, so I'm giving you guys my honest opinion. Okay? They don't owe me anything. I don't owe them anything. So I'm just telling you guys the way it is. I'm from New York. All right? You're lucky I'm not cursing more. Okay? And talking shit. Because that's usually how we do it up here. My sarcasm is, I'm about 98% sarcastic, so a lot of people don't get it and they think I'm an asshole, which is right, but I'm generally a little less asshole-ish. But the book, I'm not happy with the Conflict book, dude. The way things are laid out in certain regards, I think Infiltrators is one, or something. Or there's certain things where it's like, go to this page to figure this out. You go to that page, and it's like, then go back to this page to figure it out. There's been a couple times where we've been in the middle of filming, we're trying to figure out this complicated sequence of events, and we cannot find, for the love of God, what the answer is. And it's like, you need to go on a manhunt. It's like, you need to, like, first we need to check this section, and it's here in this section for movement. Nope, what if it's in tanks? Let's go to vehicles. Is it in vehicles? Nope. Okay, let's go to combat and see if it's in combat. That is one thing I don't like. It's laid out in a way that you need to flip-flop between the book. And I've just played a ton of tabletop war games. I've played a ton of TTRPGs, and I've game mastered, so I've read a lot of like game books. I feel like the way it's laid out is just very much so you have to go like this, that, this, that. That's kind of annoying. I feel like it could have been laid out better. How? I don't know. I don't write books for a living. I'm barely literate. You can ask Squigherder Sean. He hates me for my not proper punctuation a lot of times. But that is one of my gripes. I don't know if anyone's felt that as well. There are some things in the book where it's like kind of a fucking pain in the ass to figure out what is going on. That's just us. But there's like one or two things that pops up every time, and me and Rev don't remember what it is, and we have to go look, and it's one of those scenarios. Warlord books are kind of like that. First edition Black Powder was really bad. I'll say it's not the worst. I mean, you understand, I mean, I have a somewhat, I kind of have a grasp on Conflict 47 with my narration, and that's saying something because I suck at stuff like this. So I like it's laid out enough that a moron like me can figure it out, but I wish it was a little bit more idiot proof, because it's like there are times where we're like, dude, I can't find the answer, so we're just gonna go with this. You know what I mean? These are small gripes, by the way. Obviously, the game. I mean, I've really, I shouldn't be complaining, but again, they don't owe me jack shit. So like, I'm just telling you guys what I feel, But let's keep listening.
Those things end up with me, and my job is to constantly look at what is a barrier to people getting involved in this, and just constantly take all of those things away. So that's great feedback. So thanks for that. Yeah.
So again, they're considering it. And I don't really think it matters whether they make bolt action conflict the same. I was just curious because this was something that me and Rev actually talked about. In this we sat down in my backyard and did like a little podcast episode almost type thing. It was just us talking about conflict in like a year in. I thought it'd be a fun video, so I have to edit that. And we were like, I wonder if they should just make it the same. Would it be terrible? Would it be good? This and that. But I will say, I think... it's hard to say because I'm not tied into every social media. And I've just kind of gotten into the world of miniatures on Instagram. I've like finally followed enough people with conflict and like Turnip28 and like Napoleonic miniatures and cool shit, that I'm like in the ethos, where I'm like, oh, what's Aetherpunk 28? And I'm like, oh, Plastic Panzer Factory. Who's this guy? Oh, he's got a sick YouTube channel where he does bolt action stuff. And like, so I'm like in the realm. I didn't know about. I never was on that side of Instagram. My Instagram was all fishing, cars, and videos of people fighting each other on my main Instagram account, Li Flies Mike, because it's been ruined by. My Instagram algorithm on my main Instagram account is the most vile shit. I don't know what happened. I must have watched one video of somebody getting punched in the head, and now it's like, you want to watch the most violent thing ever? So now I'm always on my other Instagram account, Mike Rolls Dice, and I'm like, ooh, cool miniatures. But I'm seeing, I guess because I'm liking and following all these conflict dudes, it's showing me a ton of like new people with conflict stuff. It seems like there's a lot of people that are, and even like larger, not like fucking influencers or like, professional Instagram accounts, but people with like that clearly have a decent following and paint really cool miniatures. And they're like, oh yeah, I just got into conflict recently and I love the look of these guys. So it seems like it's on people's radars, and we're a year in. It seems like more and more people are finally getting around to trying the game out. Because I think people were on the fence. And I think Mordian talked about this. I think some people were on the fence. They were like, okay, and I'm like this. Here's a StarCraft game my buddy bought, right? I was like, that looks pretty sick, right? What if a year from now the game's fucking dead? Right? Or what if, it's very apparent in video games. If you play video games, games live and die like that. And to have a game even last 3 months a lot of times nowadays, like a multiplayer game, is like it can be a godsend. Some games are like a week and it's gone like that. And these people have been working on it for years. That's just how society is nowadays, right? With consuming shit and stuff like that. It's not like you would buy Halo 2. You bought Halo 2, you played it. First off, you beat it single player, every difficulty. You beat it with all your buddies. And then you play multiplayer. You play ranked. We played it for years. It was like one game. You had one game you play, and then other games. Nowadays, people will buy a game and they'll play it for like a week or two, and that's it, right? So I think it's people were kind of worried about conflict of whether it was going to be successful or not. I've had quite a few people say go watch Mike Rolls Dice and give you a shout out. I gotta say, dude, the community's been fantastic, and I make the videos for you guys. But there's been a ton of people that I'm not like. They probably don't even know I'm watching, and I see people say something. So I absolutely love it. That means that you guys like my videos. So there's nothing worse than spending 3 days on a video and being like, I don't think anyone liked that one. There goes 3 days of my life as a dude in his mid-30s that's making, freaking YouTube videos about little plastic toys. But, yeah, we saw that, Ryan. We saw it here in this video. I commented on it. I gave you a like. I told you, they can't ignore us. We'll rise up. The MRD army, rise up. Is that I gotta come up, as a streamer, you have to come up with some, like, dumbass name for your community. I got maybe the MRD, or something. Platoon. Yeah, Cinematic Tabletop. We got Cosmic. K47 is so good. Bust a Rift. Try to see what other channels I know here. Oh, I know this guy. This guy is cool. He comments on my stuff. Yeah, they're doing a great job with the new plastic stuff. Deaf Monkey. Or the eventual introduction of new factions, will this bring new Rift weapons for them, or would there be an overlap of Rift weaponry? It's probably going to be overlaps for certain stuff, but I don't know. So here's the thing. Can they make a new Rift keyword? Because it's not in the book. They're kind of limited on what they can do based off of what's in the books, right? Most tabletop games that are based off of an IP from movies, video games, etc. don't have much staying power. Let me think. I mean, what's the most successful miniature games right now? You got Warhammer. I would say probably second is well, obviously, I'm thinking, like, obviously they have Old World and things like that. Is Bolt Action maybe second? Or probably Trench Crusade, which I know some people wouldn't like, but Trench Crusade is very, very big. You'd guys be surprised how big it is. Maybe like, yeah, Bolt Action. I'm trying to think, what's another gigantic, maybe BattleTech or something? What are like the biggest miniature games? Halo Flashpoint. Yeah, I guess Halo Flashpoint could be one, right? I gotta say, dude, Halo Flashpoint looks sick. I don't know how the game plays, but I just want Covenant and Spartan minis and USNC. It was USNC, right? Is the name of them? The miniatures look sick. Monopoly, yeah. Look, we're getting Monopoly, and we're gonna start getting checkers and chess, bro. And you have Monopoly. Aliens, Another Day in the Corp. Now, like, then it would be like chess. There's probably some European shit I don't know about. Like, they play backgammon or something over there, or like in Turkey they play. What's the name of that game where we have these little tiles? And they have different... Oh, what's the name of that Turkish game, dude? Oh, man. Does anyone know what that Turkish game is where you have these little, like... They almost look like dominoes, but they have different symbols. And everybody has... You play with, like, 4 people. It's a very famous game. I forgot the name of it. We have it downstairs. It's a lot of fun to play, too. Yeah, Mahjong. What's the name of that fucking Turkish game, dude? Turkish domino game? Or something. Okay, it's okay. That's what it's called. Okay, OKEY. Yeah, it's like these tiles with numbers, and they have. I don't remember how the fuck it works, but all the old guys drinking rucka. Yeah, like this. All the old Turkish guys drinking rucka, smoking cigarettes, and they're all playing. Oh, that's dominoes, but they're usually playing okay. or whatever. It's a fun game. Yeah, there would probably be so many more infinitely popular games. I'm talking longevity. How long is Halo Flashpoint? Well, I think he's probably agreeing with you. Halo Flashpoint's new, and it might not be around that long. Dude. So did you guys see this guy on Instagram that plays bolt action with Halo? It's Halo bolt action, apparently. Is this like online? Is this available? Can I play bolt action with Halo? Because I will 3D print Covenant and Master Chief an entire USNC army, and I'll do bolt action with Halo. Have you guys seen what I'm talking about? It's an Instagram account. Is this like a real thing? Because I see he's got a whole board and he plays bolt action with it. Halo bolt action game. Oh, it's giving me the AI mode. Let's see what the AI says. The AI overlords. Games Night did it? Oh, shit. Oh, so do they have a reference to, like, the rules? Or, like, is it, like, a community folder or something? Let's see what the AI overlords say. Fan-made that adapts. Halo Bolt Action is a highly popular fan-made sci-fi tabletop wargame expansion that adapts Warlords Bolt Action. So there's a document, though, or something. Oh. Is this it? Oh. There you go. See, I don't need the goddamn AI bullshit. The first post is the Reddit post. See what I'm talking about? You know I don't speak Spanish. All right. Very cool. Okay, I'll have to take a look then. Oh, and there's free Halo miniatures. Sick. Oh, dude, we're going to have to do it. 100%. I mean, we're going to print a bunch of Halo shit and probably not use it very often, but that sounds pretty sick. Yeah, I have yet to watch the Game Nights one. I have to go watch that. I love Game Nights. Game Nights actually helped convince me to get into bolt action. Because I was like, let me look for videos. And they're kind of like a play on tabletop of weird games. They're like that quality of videos. You know what I mean? Which I don't think I'll ever be able to get to, where we have a studio, about $30,000 of camera equipment, and lighting and all that jazz, and actually good editing. But yeah, I love Game Nights. And they used to do a ton of, I went back, they had a ton of bolt action shit. I was like, let me watch this, see what this game is. And they did it. But like, Game Nights definitely had a big inspiration on how I do my videos in a certain way. Just like, not necessarily how I edit my videos, but Game Night's main guy is back on the, is on the back of the bolt action starter box. Oh, is he? Oh shit, Ben, I think his name is, I want to say. Hell yeah. Middle Earth is one of the few games that has stuck around. I'd say, yeah, it's. I know it died a couple times and it's been redone, and it's probably still not. I would say it's probably one of like game. What the fuck is the name of that shit company? Games Workshop's probably the least popular games, I'm assuming, right? Compared to like Age of Sigmar, Warhammer, Old World, or whatever other bullshit. Maybe Blood Bowl's down near the bottom too or something, I don't know. Or they're board games they have that no one plays. I absolutely love Game Nights. They're sick. If you guys don't know Game Nights, check them out. Really good. I gotta watch the Halo one. Alright, cool. So that's cool. We're definitely going to do this at one point. Maybe that's how I'll introduce my buddy Garrett to bolt action. Is Halo version or something. So, see, Rev never had an Xbox. He actually, in high school, I gave Rev my original Xbox OG, and that was cool because we would all sit around and smoke blunts and play Halo and Dead or Alive and Fusion Frenzy, but part of me wishes I kept it, dude, because I missed that Xbox. And that's like, it's... I wish I had my original Xbox and like play original Halo or something, because I love retro shit now. But he never played Halo and shit like that because he was a PlayStation guy. So I don't know if he's like, Halo bolt action, I want to play with my Soviets, you know what I mean? But nice. Okay, I'm excited for that. I didn't know this was out, like, and it was a PDF or something. So all right, chat, thank you so much for hanging out. I need to freaking go to the bathroom, okay? So bad. My stomach's like dying right now. But what do you call it? I appreciate you folks hanging out. We are going to be streaming again tomorrow. We got StarCraft miniatures we're going to be taking a look at. My buddy's bringing it over. And we'll keep on talking about conflict and painting some stuff up. So, what do you call it? I got some videos to edit tonight. We have the new Ghost Platoon video. It's going to be opening the Ghost Platoon box and taking a look at it in 4K for anyone. I kind of like that because it's almost like archiving it. So if anyone is like, hey, should I buy this box? They can just like, it's a quick video they can look at all the sprues in 4K and yeah, make their decision. So, but thank you so much, chat. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Ryan, thank you so much for hanging out. Squig Herder, thank you for the gifted memberships as always. Sean, one day I'll have to get a fez for myself. Glenn, thank you for the freaking New Zealand, the Kiwi Cash, brother. Appreciate that, man. That is very, very kind of you. And just you guys hanging out means a lot. So I know Morty and streaming and whatnot. So just having anyone in here is awesome. So, all right, chat. Nix, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get some work done. And we got, don't forget, new Turnip28 battle report. Whenever you got some time, go take a look. And one day I will get Squig Herder Sean to play Turnip28 against his will, even if I have to drug him, put him in the back of my van, tie him up. He's really big, too. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to need to hire a bunch of dudes from a Home Depot or something because I'm going to be honest with you, he's massive. But I will force him to indulge in Turnip28 one day, or at least open his mind. You know what I mean? Against your will. Forcibly. Whether you like it or not. So, but thank you again, Sean. I appreciate it. Anyways, chat, you guys have an awesome night. All right, you guys take it easy and peace.